Biggest news: Karl Anthony Towns has been traded to the New York Knicks. Um, it's wild because this is one of those trades where any other any other franchise would be jumping up and down, but like of course the Knicks franchise, the Knicks fans, I'll say, are a little bit more uh is trepidation is a good word for it. You know what I mean? Like they're
Hard to
not
please.
yeah, hard to please. You know what I mean? They don't really think that I mean, listen, I understand the all right, so let's start here. The trade was Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo, as well as the Detroit first round pick for I forgot what year it was. I'll check that up. But for Karl Anthony Towns. Uh Everybody, of course, is more upset at the fact now Julius Randle is rumored to be traded was rumored to be traded for a long time. So that's not anything surprising. Actually, when it came across the ticker came across my phone and it said that Karl Anthony Towns would be traded. I figured Julius Randle would be involved in the trade, but
Wait, you hadn't heard about this before?
no. Just a minute, like maybe 5 to 10 minutes before the trade news actually came through for sure. There was like, oh, there's inner workings of a trade being done.
Oh, and you ain't know who you knew it was for a cat.
I knew it was for Cat. I just didn't know
You
who
were
was
like, it gotta
involved.
be
Julius, yeah,
Julius included.
Julius is definitely involved, and it ended up being Julius and Dante. I'm actually hearing that for a while. They were they couldn't get past a certain stage because it was Julius and Mitch they were trying to trade for him, and that wasn't tipping the scale for Minnesota. Which I understand. You trading two bigs over there, and they already had a big. They already had two bigs already with Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert. So to receive Julius and Mitchell Robinson on top of that, just really it's clunky, really really clunky. So I understand them waiting. So talks didn't move until they added Dante into the mix. And basically once they started talking about Dante, now credit to Leon Rose, he tried his best not to. He really tried his best not to, but that's how it is in the NBA. You try to hold your best pieces for the end, and if you can't, then that's why you have them. But this is why I always say this is why we have always stockpiled all these assets. You got all of these players, you got all of these picks. You got to do something with them. You know what I mean? You couldn't just keep drafting guys and using them. But they took their pieces and they made a move. And unfortunately, whenever that happens, somebody that we love is going to be gone.
It's gonna go.
It's
gonna go. And we did well. All the pieces we ain't want to go. We still got to the almost to the Eastern Conference Finals by one game with everybody injured.
And that's another part that I want to get to later in terms of the depth of the team now compared to before. But I think that we have done a good job. Well, the team has done a good job at making sure that
that's all of us. We all the team.
All of us, yeah, it's part of the team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like six men. We're part of the team too. We've done what we can to make sure that Jalen Brunson is happy with whoever is here, and just surrounding him with the right pieces. Oh, look who we got. We got the Cuzzle. We got the Cuzzle in the building.
Hold up, cuz. You see, we in circles now, boy.
Yeah.
You put us in a circle.
Oh, we can't hear you. Oh, sound? Oh, no. I can't hear you.
You want to come say we live?
I thought I heard something.
Everybody on.
Who's that? Hey, Lyric. Hey,
Hi.
Lyric. Look at the niece. How you doing?
Good.
You had a nice little Sunday?
Yeah.
Aw, I miss you. Uncle Joshua misses you. I miss you. It's been a minute. Oh, we got people in the chat. What's going on? RBL Basketball's in the chat. He said, "You're." What's going on?
Is he in the house?
Is he in the house? He said, "You're my guys. Miss you, guys. God's peace and abundance to Apollo and Dre and Rick. You want some more? Got to get it out of here. I want some more smoke." Oh, shout out to Izzy reciting some lyrics from my from the song that I made with my brother. Actually made that beat. Actually, so shout out to Andre Jalil for the Infinity beat right there. You know what I'm saying?
Big he tried to explain it at the end of the song. He said, I smoked to infinity.
Hey, listen, don't be talking to niece about that. Come on, you gonna do that loud to me like that, yo? Yeah, yo, niece. That was
show
me.
Unc
That's
how you missing your teeth now? How your teeth fell out? Show him your teeth.
you missing teeth. You got some teeth that fell out. Oh, okay. Oh, you must have got a lot of money under your pillow. Yeah, Uncle. Look, Uncle. He's like,
Look,
damn.
here go your boy. The Celtics will sweep you guys.
The Celtics was mournful Nets fan. The Celtics. Well, there you go. That says it all right there. Mournful Nets fan.
Yeah,
I don't think I have to
I get
respond.
it. I understand. I totally
I
get it.
understand. I totally understand, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. I know being a Nets fan is really rough right now, especially for two reasons. You know, you lost
You had your
Macau.
biggest asset.
Yeah, you lost Macau to us, and then you just watching us just keep it going. So I understand. I'd be mournful if I was a Nets fan as well. Shout out to you for being here, though. Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Bill said he predicted this.
He did. He did say I predicted this trade on your podcast in March. He definitely said that. He said that they're gonna be trading Julius for Cat.
I knew that coach loved him.
Yeah.
I didn't know if he was really gonna pull it off. All of this talk about us not having a center. It was the furthest thing from my mind when it came through. I was like, hold up, what? At first I was like super disappointed. I was like, oh man, what they do? All right, you ready to go upstairs, Pumpkin? Because you ain't gonna stop while we're doing the podcast. Say goodbye to Uncle Josh.
I'll see you later, Larry. I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Love you.
I'll talk to you later.
That's the niece. So yeah, they were trading Mournful. He said Mikhail's just a role player. I mean, yeah, there you go, cuz.
All right.
There you go.
The headphones, I'll figure that out later.
Yeah, he said Mikhail's just a role player. I mean, on this team, he would be. I mean, he wasn't a role player when he was a Nets fan. That says a lot about what you guys got going on over there. But
I do feel like
we've been there before too, so I'm not going to talk too much trash. We've been there.
I do feel like we'll be missing in the DiVincenzo void. He's gonna fill that right back up. And ain't gonna be nothing we miss.
Oh yeah, for sure. Dante.
Position.
So that's the thing, bro. Like, if we want to talk about one part of the trade that I am definitely upset about, it is, first of all, before I even get there, before I start talking about Dante, Rick, talk to me about how you feel. Shout out to Xavier. See you. Talk to me. How you feeling about this trade, man? How you feeling?
Honestly, you guys had to talk me down because I was just like, what are they doing? I mean, we just got the Nova guys together, like we about to, and then the trade happened. So I was just like, I don't know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought about it. I was like, we definitely need a center.
Yeah,
because Mitch is injury prone, and then what happens?
He's out until January,
right? Yeah. So we won't see him.
Mm-hmm.
They don't trust Sims yet, so we need somebody.
Sims ain't the guy.
When will we trust Sims? I have been seeing
Sims. He's just not the guy.
I've been seeing him put some work in this summer, and but I don't think there's been a summer where he didn't put work in. So I don't know what that means. It also depends on how. I don't know, man. I don't know. I had a thought. I lost it, but it's so much. I read a comment and it threw me off. About Sims. Yes, I saw a lot of he was working with Mike Bibby, working with another one of his trainers, and he's been putting a lot of work in. You know what I mean? It's just I don't know if the coach will trust that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how much trust the coaching staff is going to put into Sims. I'd like to see it. You know what I mean? Why not? He actually did a good job defending the perimeter. He's a pretty good perimeter defender. I think we can use that, especially with him being a 5. Like, if you don't want to run Cat at the 5 spot, you can run Mitch. I mean, not Mitch. Sims. I wouldn't say for extended periods. I'd say for just short bursts, maybe 5-minute periods. You can have Cat out there running a 4 next to Sims, just so he doesn't have to have that responsibility of banging around in the paint. He can stand out there and spread the floor a little bit. But there will be more lineups than not where Sims won't be in, and Karl Anthony Towns will be playing a 5. So I think that's something that we'll definitely see.
What's the lineup though? What's the starting 5 right now? They look like they had Hart as a they got rid of Mook.
Yeah,
Well,
I saw that.
they had to do that, which they can still bring him back. They can still bring him back. I think it was only like an exhibit 10 or so, some kind of contract. It was a short contract. I think they are able to bring him back.
But the money was the biggest thing. They still had like 10 million that they had to make up for. They had to send off or something like that.
to send off to it, which is why Charlotte is involved, and we're sending Charlie Brown or Daquan Jeffries, one of the two. I might
Charlie
be wrong.
Brown.
Charlie Brown. We have a Charlie Brown on this team. Yes, we do.
You do?
Yes,
Yeah.
there's a Charlie Brown. He's never
He keep
played.
his blanket with him. He got his blankie.
No, he doesn't have a Snoopy blanket with him. He doesn't. But yeah, one of those two, either Charlie Brown, I believe is Daquan Jeffries though. But that's what they had to do to make the trade work. So what does this trade mean now? Okay, let me go into the Dante piece. Losing Dante to me really hurt because he was by far our best shooter. Especially, just like off of screens, off of passes, and just hitting those tough, deep threes. Like, I don't know. There was no one else doing that on that squad. Jalen, of course. Jalen was doing it, of course, but not at the clip that Dante was doing it. Dante broke records in 1 year of being a Knick. So it was definitely sad to see that Dante was part of it, because I really felt like he is honestly what made us so unguardable, because you had a guy that not only was he a threat from deep, but he would get into the paint, he'd get into passing lanes, he's pressuring up on defense. There's so many things that he's done to make this team work this past season. And it really sucks to see him go in the trade, but we talk about this all the time. If you want something that you don't have, you got to give up something
give
you
something
really
up.
like. You know what I mean? And you gotta make that move. So
You be all right.
unfortunately, there's been some things out about him saying that supposedly he wasn't happy with his role here, being after they traded for Macau, because he was going to be coming off the bench and he was going to be having limited minutes, which I understand. And we spoke about that before the show, Dre. If you have somebody he basically had a breakout season, you know what I mean? The guy had a breakout season and did a whole lot for this franchise and stepped up, and he became a starter, and then he became a big time piece in the playoffs for us.
Yeah.
I'd be a little bit upset too if I was going to be just back to the bench, and then my role is going to be decreased. So the guy just had a kid, his career's an up and up. Like, I want more opportunity if I were him. So I understand that part, whether that has a lot to do with it or not. Like, that could have had a lot to do with it, or just simply the fact that this trade would not have happened if it wasn't for Dante DiVincenzo being involved in the trade. So
That's why you have pieces. That's why you get pieces like that. But I feel like Mikal Bridges is going to fill in everything that Dante. I don't think it's so much of a loss, because we forget that we gained Mikal Bridges, who's a better defender as far as
that's the other thing is Mikal is also basically a 40% shooter. I think it was a 38% from.
Can you imagine? You got Jalen and you got Mikal Bridges. You got Cat who could shoot the three. Dude, like this squad is dangerous. Like, he got people to pass to,
and don't. OG can shoot the three too. You know what I mean? You got guys that
can shoot the three in the corner. Like, forget it,
knocking it down. So that, to me, I think if we're looking at the bright side of it, there is a lot this team can do now that we've never been able to do within the past 4 years. You had, and we spoke about this plenty of times on this show over the past couple of years. You can't have RJ, Julius, and Mitch playing major minutes in the same lineup. And for a while that happened. So then at first you move RJ, you make them RJ move, you spread things out a little bit, and you bring OG in. Unfortunately, just like this trade, you got to include somebody that you love. IQ was part of that trade.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So and this is it's a pattern. That's the only way you can really make moves in this league, is if you're giving up pieces that you love. You know what I mean? And clearly, if you love the piece, then somebody else is gonna want it because you love them for a reason. You know what I mean? So I understand that you have to make that trade, and then Julius being added to this trade. And the thing that sucks is because we really didn't get to see now, and as much as many people wanted Julius traded, there was a lot of times where you know, we hold on, hold on.
Yeah, I think a lot of people wanted Julius. I mean, not think. They made it very clear that they wanted Julius gone, and this is right off of him getting All Star, um, becoming an All Star. So like now Julius is gone. A lot of the Nick fans were happy about that, but I was rooting for the guy. I really wanted him to come back strong.
Yeah,
And
I was, that was part of what I was upset about was that Julius is going to be here. I want to see how it all looks like. But one of the things that we really have to look at, as deep as we got in the playoffs, we did all of that without Julius Randle, right?
exactly.
So when you have like that thing going, right? Like, all right, so Dante DiVincenzo did his thing, and also this wasn't supposed. The Knicks weren't supposed to be that good that soon.
Mm-hmm.
If people were healthy, we get into the Eastern Conference Finals, right? If we're healthy. We weren't supposed to get past the 76ers. You understand what I'm saying? So when you change it where we also had a glaring hole at the center position. And it just seems like they were talking about homeboy from Charlotte, the center. They were like, if we get him,
Nick
they were talking
Richards.
they were talking about the center over here, and it was all like they'd be a serviceable center that's kind of like a Mitchell Robinson. They're not really like an offensive dynamo, but we got like a dude who can dribble a little bit, to do a center who could shoot the three. And so now that gap with Julius Randle, wondering how it would have been, also remembering that he never performed well in the playoffs. This seems to be like it's a great trade when you consider we got Mikal Bridges, we re-signed OG Anunoby, and they talk about they said for the games he played, we were 18-2 with him in the starting lineup because like with the defense that he brings.
Right.
And all of that, I just feel like we are like the top two favorite teams in the East. I feel like I don't see, the matchup with Embiid and Karl Anthony Towns now is probably going to be classic.
Yeah. That's a rivalry in the making now for sure.
Yeah, like I just feel like that's like a big deal when you look at what we have, Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson. Like I feel like it's going to be amazing. And when, let's say Mitchell Robinson, or whenever Mitchell Robinson gets, if we still have him, because I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know how these trades are going to turn out. But if we keep Mitchell Robinson and we have Karl Anthony Towns, because now Mitchell Robinson should be able to stay. Let's say we do keep him and he's like off the bench center, or they run Mitchell Robinson and Karl Anthony Towns at the same time and do the same Twin Tower things, depending on the situation.
I'm going to just stop you there. Mitch is gone.
Mitch is gone, you think?
He's gone.
Where they sending him?
I don't know.
What we get for him?
I know that there was a report that came out yesterday that there was taking and receiving calls or whatever
for Mitch.
Yeah, whatever they said, taking and something, whatever word they use. But regardless, there's on both sides.
What you think
they're actively trying to make a move. I don't know, but I do know that if you're looking at the franchise, our bench got a little thin. You know what I mean? You lose Dante, and that's you're not just losing a two guard, you're losing a two guard off the bench that was arguably your best role player outside of Josh Hart last year. You know what I mean?
What's the depth, Josh? What's the depth chart right now we got on the? Let me look.
All right, so if you go ahead look at it, but it should be Jalen Brunson, Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges. This is starters: Jalen, Mikal, OG, Josh, maybe, and Karl. And then you got coming off the bench, you got Campaign, Tyler Kolek.
That's right. We got Campaign. Like, ain't that like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I mean, after that, after Campaign and Tyler Kolek, you don't really have much. You still got Sims. Who else do we got? Who else are you seeing up there?
Hold on, I'm looking it up right now.
It's a when you talk about our entire lineup, it's kind of weird. Now we
got Daddy. We got Tyler Kolek. That's his point guard.
Yeah.
Tyler Kolek. I'm excited about that young blood.
Yeah, I like Tyler.
They still got Dante DiVincenzo on NBA.com. They still got him on the roster.
Yeah.
Don't forget we got Dwayne Washington Jr.
Right. Yeah, that guy. That guy.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's on Charlotte by tomorrow.
So hold on. This dude, Keita Bates-Diop.
Yeah, he got traded back to the Timberwolves, I believe.
Oh yeah,
I
they
think
said that
I
was another
think
one.
he's
We
included
got
in.
Landry Shamet,
We did get Shamit. We did get
and he's
Shamit.
a shooting guard, right?
Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
shooter.
he's a shooter.
Ain't he like a good shooter, or am I mistaken?
He was. I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
He hasn't played a lot recently. You know what I mean? Like he used to back in the day. Let's just say this: we have a lineup now that Tom Thibodeau won't be forced to go outside of 7 8 guys, and you know he already likes to do that. And this is before the trade. Now, what I'm hearing is they're still trying to actively move Mitchell Robinson. So because they're still trying to actively move Mitchell Robinson, I don't know how the depth at guard will be. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to bring somebody else in, um, who can give us some more scoring off the bench, because that is kind of what we're lacking at this point. But you know, I don't doubt Leon Rose anymore. Like this, that dude, he
He
works.
not playing.
He works. He works. He does his job. You know what I mean? That guy does his job. Let me hit the chat real quick. It's been a minute since I looked in his house. AP says Sims has lasted for being the last pick. Has lasted for being the last pick in his draft. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Very true for someone who's. I mean, he's riding a pine, but at least he's out there and he's serviceable when he's there. You know, you can't really go through him for anything, but he's definitely serviceable. Mournful Nets fan says Thomas, Dennis, Clax, and Watford were all better than Macau.
He's bugging. I don't know who that is, but he's wilding.
Cam Thomas is the only one that's better than him offensively, and that's it. Trendon Watford was decent, but he's not better than Macau. I mean, listen, I don't know what we're talking about, but I'm sorry. My bad. My bad. I didn't mean it like that. But seriously, like I don't know what we're talking about.
It'd be that. I was like, it's just like, all right.
I didn't know.
I don't know what we talk about. You know, when you get to that point, it's just like, all right, next
about.
comment. Somebody said Karl Anthony Towns, which I said is from New York, which I'm excited about. I think that's dope.
Mm-hmm.
I think it counts for something. I think he's excited. I can't wait to see him with the, when they have him holding his jersey and all of that, and hear what he's. I'm excited to see what he says about being in New York, his hometown.
Right. Yeah.
His contract is outrageous.
I do think that he was a little upset because they did just make it to the conference finals, and he wanted to run it back with that squad. I do think there was some.
He'll get over it.
I'd be upset too.
Do that over here.
Yeah, but at the end of the day,
he got benched.
He did get benched. So, and that's the other thing. Like it didn't go. It wasn't a smooth ride over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you needed, if anything, you probably needed a fresh start.
Yeah, you wanted to run that back. Like, I mean, like they gave you the keys and then you didn't do what you had to do and they benched you.
You.
Like, come on.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. I think him coming here is a lot easier for him to deal with because he's not the number one option. You know what I'm saying? The pressure of him having to be the guy is not there anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which it wasn't there last year, but he was easing himself into understanding that. But the sad part is I can see you being that guy there and then having to change that while you were there, kind of like Julius. You know what I mean? Like Julius was the guy here and then Jalen came and you had to give the keys to him. It's a little bit difficult to do that. I can understand it's easier to go to another team and just adapt a new role than it is for you to sit in front of all the people who you were supposed to be that number one guy for years. And then now you're not the number one guy. It's a little bit more, I'm sure it's a little bit tougher to do with in that sense.
I think the weight off his shoulder, because he's not the guy, but he's going to be a big deal here.
Mm-hmm.
But with it being Jalen Brunson's team, I just think that it should be a lot off his shoulder. I just think that with the lineup we got, with OG and Anunoby helping on the defensive end, and being somebody to say, like, I think the spacing we got is going to be dynamite. At least on paper. Everybody should have a little bit of room. So, like, if he disappears one game, Jalen, Macau, OG, like, I just think there's a lot of places it could go. At one night, it could be Karl Anthony Towns night.
Right.
I just think that there's so much room for that by the end of the season, we should be one of the top 3 seeds in the East. And if we're not, like, so what?
Right. A brother of certain age said, does the development of Deuce McBride make this loss of Dante easier? Yeah, I mean it does.
Yeah, because well, it wasn't really if that wasn't really the threat for him. I thought the threat for him was campaign.
Yeah.
For no. Cam was not a threat to.
Campaign wasn't a threat to Deuce McBride.
Nah,
I thought
no.
that's what it was. Why not?
I not say that because they have two different jobs. Like they might both be guards, but there's their job as guard is different. Like to me, Deuce is more of like a wing / guard. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not like the guard that you want to go to for offense. You know what I mean? He might be able to hit the open shot, but to go to him for offense, that's not really what his job is. You know what I mean? So I would say that damn, I mean campaign over Deuce, I can see them both being on the floor at the same time and having two different roles. Yeah, I think that's possible. I don't think they look at Deuce as a point guard. You know what I mean? I think they look at him as a combo guard or / small wing that can float around defensively all over the floor and just do and hit open shots. But in terms of ball handling and putting the ball in the basket when you need it, I would rather go for campaign in that sense. But I'm not saying I would give more minutes to Cam over Deuce. Absolutely not. That's not what I think they have two different roles personally. So I do think the loss of Dante does mean more. It absolutely puts more responsibility into the hands of Deuce McBride. But I don't know if his role will be as big as Dante's was when Dante was here. I don't see that.
I don't think Deuce McBride, like the development of Deuce McBride changes anything. Like I feel like Deuce was kind of in his own lane. Like I don't feel like they really looked to him to do anything major. I think what they got out of him, they were grateful for, but I don't think they were just like, all right, yo, we got to go to Deuce. You know what I mean? Like he definitely was.
I don't think defensively you have to go look at Deuce for some defensively. Like, defensively, for sure.
Look,
offensively, no.
I think they expected it because that's kind of like why he got his play time, and then he developed his shot, and it was like, okay, good. But Dante, I looked at him like if you had to choose between McBride and Dante, right? Who are you choosing?
Dante.
Right. So losing Dante and saying, well, McBride developed, so it feels a little bit better. It doesn't. I don't feel like it changes anything. Like I expected him to develop.
True. That's true. I understand that. That's a great point. That's a great point. And
I saw that question somewhere else too. I think my brother asked me. He was just like, "Oh well, you still got McBride and he's better now." And I was just like, "Yeah." I would hope everybody got a little bit better.
So everybody got better. I mean, I can't sit here and say that they're going to look for Deuce to do any offensive load. I don't think they can put any responsibility for an offensive load on Deuce's shoulders.
Right.
Nah, for sure.
And that's my feeling.
Yeah. RBO says, when will the Knicks trade Dolan? Man.
When will the Knicks trade who?
James Dolan. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want Dolan to go nowhere, and I'll tell you why. At this point, you need somebody with heavy pockets with this kind of squad. You know what I'm saying? You need somebody who's not afraid to spend money. The reason why the Timberwolves are in the situation where they had to trade for Cat is because they typically don't. They're a frugal franchise. They don't like to spend money. That franchise does not like to spend money. Historically, they don't. So immediately when Cat was signed to that extension, I think it was last year, everybody knew that he was going to get traded. There's no possible way.
That's wild money, bro.
Yeah, there was no possible way that the Timberwolves were going to keep Karl Anthony Towns.
Edwards.
Yeah, Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert. Like this, there was no way. There was no way that they were going to keep all those guys with those contracts on that team. So, you need someone now. The Knicks, after this trade, they are well into the tax. They are well into that luxury tax.
Was it like over $9 million into the tax?
I don't even know. I got to break it down, but you got to have a owner who's not scared to make that move. Like if it was the Clippers, I saw somebody else. It might have been Brian Windhorst, I believe, that said if it's the Clippers, they don't make this trade because Steve Ballmer, he makes a lot of money with his shares in Microsoft. So it's like whatever, I'll pay that tax. You know what I'm saying? So I think when you have a bad team, an owner like James Dolan, he gets in the way. You know what I mean? Because he's used to winning. He's used to making a lot of money. So, he starts to make dumb decisions and integrating himself into the franchise in ways he shouldn't. But when they start winning, and you need I'm not gonna lie, with the new CBA, the new collective bargaining agreement, this kind of trade was not supposed to happen. You know what I mean? Like being able to put a star on another team with other stars or another star wasn't supposed to be able to happen. But the Knicks guys, their cap guys are freaking ridiculous. I don't even know how they figured out they had to, let's cut some of these guys and then sign and trade some free agents that we signed from last year. Like that, I don't know why you would even think of that. And sometimes I feel like they're miles ahead of other franchises when it comes to those front office decisions, because it's just like, well, who the hell thinks of this kind of stuff? Because they haven't missed. They have not missed at all since getting Jalen. They haven't missed. They actually have not missed. So, shout out to Dolan, man. I can't believe I'm saying it, but shout out to Dolan. Shout out to the guy. AP says not all of us liked Randall. Whew, man.
He said not all of us. A lot of us liked Randall.
Not all of us. A lot. Oh, not all of us. A lot of us liked Randall. Okay. I understand what he's saying. A lot of us did like Randall. A lot of us didn't like Randall, and a lot of us didn't like Randall and then liked Randall. So I'm saying like it could have went a few different ways. Like you said, Julius Randle is one of the reasons why we are where we are now. And I want to take time out to give him his flowers, because Julius Randle came here at a very turbulent time. He came to the Knicks when we were supposed to have Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
And we got Julius Randle and RJ Barrett. That was not what any Knicks fan was looking forward to on that July day at all. So to see what he went through, I mean, don't get me wrong, a lot of it was warranted. Let's be real. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of what we were saying about Julius Randle was warranted, but the guy did not care. He worked hard. I mean, but he worked hard. He put the team on his back, and year after year he got us to the playoffs. He was the guy that was the number one piece that pushed us towards where we are today. So shout out to Julius for that. It wasn't always the prettiest, but at the end of the day, like I was saying earlier, we still wanted to see what he could be with this squad. Were we confident that it was going to be a perfect fit? No, absolutely not. That's the reason why it's so easy for us to understand that we brought Cat in, because he spaces the floor. But it just wasn't always the perfect fit. But we accepted Julius after a while. Especially after the thumbs down thing. It was like, get this guy out of here.
It was that when he was screaming at IQ, face, pushing him off. It was like, yo, what's up with this dude? Then he kept talking about his mentals.
Right.
Like that. He was always like, it was a gamble with him in a lot of instances.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to have that negativity gone, and it just seemed like every season there was some reason that he was like down, and he would do something volatile, and you'd be like, oh man, now he's fucking up. We just got there, and then we right there, then he just breaks down. Right. But not that I've been watching Minnesota this whole time. I don't know what it is. They say that Karl Anthony Towns disappears sometimes too. And they were saying that the project with him and Gobert didn't really work until last season. Like they put it together.
Oh,
but what happened? The trade just happened?
Why the hell am I on? I just got a notification on Twitter, and Dwight Howard said, I was just in New York and I kept hearing the Knicks needed a backup, and he puts the face. Like, nah.
I take it.
Dude, can we take it?
I take it. Backup? I take that. He's stronger than a motherfucker. I mean, he a little tough, but I'll take it. I ain't gonna be in the locker room with him.
Yo, bro, it'll be pause central.
It'll be pause heaven. I'm starting that page if he signed with the Knicks.
I'm
you starting that meme page.
Call it pause heaven, and it's gonna be a picture of Dwight. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have it. You gotta.
Pause heaven with Dwight. Yo, that's it right there. I'm creating that drink. Pause heaven with the New York symbol behind them. Crazy boy? I'll be creating mad at them drinks. I was just in the locker room with my teammates. It's wild in there. I love it here in New York.
It'd be crazy. It would be crazy if that man came over here, bro. Anyway, it's wild. Somebody actually mentioned Dwight Howard yesterday to me, and I said, "Yo, what are we doing? Why are we talking about Dwight right now?"
I take it.
Really? He just won the championship over there in the league that he was in.
That's what I'm saying. He getting busy.
Listen,
I mean, if he a backup, he ain't not starting.
I don't need him getting busy in New York, bro.
Yo, Dwight, I'm getting busy. No, Dwight.
Yeah.
We don't need you getting nuts.
Dwight, back up.
Yeah.
Back up.
Hold on, back up. You getting what? No. Come
out
the locker room. Out the locker room. Now. Talk about you getting busy. Don't talk to the media or something. Hurry up, yo, because Dwight coming.
Listen, man. That I don't know. Listen, I'm all for it. If he comes here and does it, and the one thing I will say about Dwight, all jokes aside. Come on, man. You got the ceiling.
And it's facing the wrong way.
You got the ceiling in the chat. Oh my gosh, man! You showing the insulation?
Wait, hold on.
You got the insulation in the clip. Come on, man.
You saw it?
Yeah, we gotta chill out.
God damn, you know what I'm saying? Now everybody know my ceiling ain't finished.
Oh man. So Xavier said you have to trade him while the value is high. Dante had a career year, and this is Julius' second straight All-Star. Remember, this is also Julius' second major surgery. Cat is a year younger. Yeah. And that's the other thing. The other thing is we don't know for sure if Julius was going to be healthy going into, he was already going to miss time starting the year. He's not going to be able to start the season. You know what I mean? He's going to be probably
not.
I mean, he might be like a week or two out, but it's not that far. You know what I mean? He probably wouldn't have played until, like the end of I would say like beginning of December, end of November, beginning of December, nothing crazy. But Towns also doesn't have the greatest injury history either.
That's what I'm saying. That's always a risk, and that's why I feel like the salary is wild. But the Knicks didn't give him that salary; they just took it on. They taking it on.
Right. Yeah. Which is cool. Which is cool.
And I always felt like they knew this was coming because they just had Jalen re-signed for that low amount. It was like they knew something like this was going on.
They knew. They absolutely knew. There was no, and this is what I'm saying. That's why I have so much respect for the numbers guys in the front office, because they don't wait until they have to deal with something to start making moves. They proactively set these things up so where they have options. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't seen it ever since they got Jalen. It's just been, what's the guy's name? Ah, man, he works for the Brock Aller, that guy. Who we need to give him a raise, bro. Like, I don't know what the hell, what school he went to or what, but bro, his number game is outrageous. It's just outrageous.
What you mean? What do he do?
Just how he figures out how to make trades and things happen seamlessly. You know what I mean? A lot of trades or moves that other teams try to make, they can't make or they have to give up certain pieces. Like, he learns, I don't know what it is. He finds out how to make these moves. Like I said just earlier, an example of you cut these guys and then sign and trade the rest of the guys to make the trade work. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of guys that you already probably weren't going to play anyway, but you know how to make that happen, to use them for your, for your trade, to make the things happen. I don't know, bro. Like that. I don't know like I said, I don't know what school he went to. That guy's a godsend. He's a godsend, bro.
I think now was gonna be the best time to trade Randall, because like you said, we don't know what Randall we are getting back, like how he recovered after the surgery and stuff like that. So, you're basically trading him off of what he did do before he went out. So it was good timing.
Can I I googled the depth chart. I was looking at NBA.com. It's stupid. They just show you the roster. So let me show you. Can I tell you what the depth chart is? Of course, you got the way they got it: Jalen Brunson, McCall at the 2, OG at the 3, and Josh Hart at the 4. I'm not really sure about that.
Josh Hart.
And then Karl Anthony Towns at the 5.
I'm not mad at that because I'm sure there's a switchability factor there. You know what I'm saying? Like between the 3 and the 4. I don't think
I think so. Like you could flip it and bounce it, but
yeah.
Josh Hart against some power forwards in this league just ain't gonna work. But
no, right. That's what I'm saying. You can switch it. You can switch it with OG on that play, depending on who we're playing. But most teams in the league do play small ball now, so we can look forward.
So here's the thing. Now it says on the right after Jalen Brunson, they got Miles McBride, but they got Miles McBride behind him and Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
So they got him as the 1 and the 2 he could be. And then after it says who's coming behind Anunoby is Josh Hart. But how is that possible if he's starting? Then they have power forward behind Josh Hart, who they saying they got Precious.
Oh, Precious. I forgot about Precious. Yes.
Yeah, still, that's what I was thinking about. That's why I thought he'd be, if there's going to be a power forward, it would be Precious that starts over Josh Hart, depending on who we seeing that night.
I mean, if Tibbs is wise, I would try my best to find a way to have Josh come off the bench. Not in reduced minutes or role, just to start on the bench. He's most likely going to finish the game. Like, I'm not worried about that. But just in terms of for lineup reasons, if he can start on the bench, you have Precious in there for 4 or 5 minutes, and then you bring Josh in there, and then you just break up that rotation. You push Karl Anthony Towns to the 5 now, and then you can have a little 5 out. You give Jalen more space than he's ever had on this team. I think that could work. In my personal opinion, I think that could work.
So here's the thing, right? So now for third coming off the bench, and of course they got Mitchell Robinson behind Karl Anthony Towns, but that wouldn't happen until, from what I understand, January anyway.
Right, exactly.
So now they got third, for point guard and shooting guard, they got Cameron Payne. But I think that instead of Miles McBride coming off 1 and 2 second, Cameron Payne is going to fill one of those joints.
Yeah.
Off the second. It can't be Miles McBride for both of those spots. So it would either be Cameron Payne, whatever the case. Then they got Mikal Bridges, who would be on third, I guess, coming back. I don't know why that makes any sense. That's not going. He's not ever going to be like the third. I don't know. And then they keep recycling the same names, but they got Tyler Kolek at the 4th. Landry Shamet. What is DD? Oh, day-to-day, he's hurt. And then Pacome Daddy. I was looking at what y'all think about the Pacome Daddy thing? Are y'all familiar enough with homeboy?
No.
That's the guy that they drafted.
He got drafted.
Yeah. He was I think he was the first draft pick. The first guy that we drafted this year. Because I think we drafted like 2 or 3 guys.
So check this out. I don't know who page this is. This is ESPN. They got Jericho Sims as like 5th off the bench behind but power forward. Yeah, and I can't disagree. They got him in the 4th as behind Karl Anthony Towns coming in 4th.
His role will be higher. No. I'm saying I think his role will actually be higher than it was last year. And I say that because we're already going to be down. The only guys that are going to play more minutes than Sims at any big position should only be Karl Anthony Towns and Precious. Now, you can't play Towns all game long, so there will be times where you have to play Precious and Sims on the floor at the same time. So I do think there is opportunity for him to have more minutes just strictly out of default. But I don't think it's something for them going to him because they expect anything out of him. They just need those minutes out of him. So that's probably how they're going to run with it.
Until Mitch gets back, then
until Mitch gets back. Yeah, until Mitch gets back. Well, and that's if Mitch is still on his team, but I don't think Mitch will be in his team.
I hope so, because that would be. I think that as far if we kept him, like if they're fielding phone calls for him, that's one thing to see if the value makes sense. If you talk about this guy with the numbers and so forth and so on, if that makes sense, then sure. But if we keep him, I think that the 76ers it's a big problem for the 76ers because if Karl Anthony Towns does get hurt, we still have a starting center in that position. Then we got to deal with him, and then Sims and Precious and all of that. But if he's like if he's number 2 and he's still there, I think it presents a lot of problems because we had a big loss with Hartenstein leaving.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But they had him like starting after Mitchell got hurt. But when Mitchell came back, he was giving Embiid a lot of fits, and Embiid tried to injure him, pulling him down on the ground, landing on his legs, and all kinds of stuff.
And that's why I love that clip of Karl Anthony Towns like trying to throw him in a headlock because it's just like, yo, bro, like
what you doing? Like he got to get hurt the next. I'm sorry,
he got to get hurt. He has to get hurt.
He got to get hurt. Like I feel like I couldn't be the coach. They'd have fined me $100,000 every time. I'd have said, if y'all let him get away with that.
You remember how you didn't know who Charlie Brown was?
Yeah, wow, what happened?
That's how you would have found out who he was.
Oh, he enforcer?
No, I'd have just sent Charlie Brown out there to fight.
Oh yeah, I'd have been Charlie Brown. Whatever the fine is gonna be, don't worry about it. I'm gonna dump the fine plus you get that.
I got you. Don't worry.
Yo, because I'm not having that, man. I don't understand that.
Nah, bro. Because especially the way he did it, and then you get in Dante's face, and then when Dante get in your face about it, you be like, "What you gonna do?"
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm telling you, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not built for it.
Go in there.
You Sims. I'm telling you.
Go in there. You're a bum anyway. Go in there.
You're a bum anyway. Yo, just hit him. You're not gonna do that.
No, just land. When you go for the blockage shot, make sure your elbow hit his face.
Yo, bro, I just hit him with a hard foul every single time.
Word.
Every time. Because you know he's gonna draw him. You're gonna draw the fouls anyway. Exactly. All right, I'm gonna make him work.
I'm like, yo, Sims, you better get 2 technicals tonight. Yeah, that's all I'm saying,
bro. Because that's the type of player that Joel Embiid is. You have to attack him like that because number one, he's using most of those tactics to get in your head. Number 2, it gets him going. So you gotta counteract that. You can't just let him get you in foul trouble. You can't just let him because he did it to Hartenstein all series. He was killing Hartenstein. If we really being honest, he was killing him. As soon as Mitchell Robinson was out, he was.
Mitchell was giving him fits because he had it easy on Hartenstein. That's my thing. Yeah. That's why I would love for us to keep him because in a matchup like that, and we talk about Joel Embiid, one of the best centers in the league. If we can handle him at the 5, it could be easy street as far as that. And who's stopping Karl Anthony Towns?
Nobody. I mean, the thing about Karl. All right, I'll say this about Karl. My problem. There's one thing, and DJ Ace, shout out to DJ Azulo on Twitter. DJ Ace is the main person who showed a video. It was 4 clips of Karl Anthony Towns dribbling through contact and just getting stupid ass turnovers. That is what we're gonna see. We got you. Just prepare yourself. Just prepare yourself. He's a 7-footer, will handle like a wing, so he's gonna try to fit into spots he shouldn't be fitting in. And that's just now number one, I'm hoping he was comfortable doing that shit because they didn't have no point guard over there. They had Mike Conley. You know what I'm saying? And Mike Conley.
I mean, you're gonna have fun. If you paying him $60 million, let him do crossovers.
No, I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Right. I don't mind that because at the end of the day, it's still a talent that he has. You still able to put the ball on the floor. But if you saw, I wish, you know what, I might pull it up.
Yo, I think I want to start the page. Can you imagine the zestiness with Karl Anthony Towns and Dwight Howard in the same locker room, bro?
Nah, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
Hey, there was I'm starting that page.
He was like, yeah, they asked him, they said, what they say? They said it was Jalen Brunson and Stephen A. Smith with Karl Anthony Towns. And
yes, I saw that.
They were going. Wait, who? It was a cartoon.
Yeah.
And it was Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns and Stephen A. Smith. And they went to knocked on the Sixers door, and they knocked on the door, and he was like, "Hey, we got Karl Anthony Towns," and he was like, "So," and then what they say when he went to the Celtics, they said, "We got Towns," and he was like, "So he's softer than that toilet paper you got in your hand." Yeah. And I'm just like, I'm like, damn, bro, like they're already starting. They are already starting.
Yo, it's gonna be yo. I want Dwight Howard on the Knicks now, boy, because that shit right there.
Bro, it was funny because at the end of the video, that's why it was funny. At the end of the video, he says, what did he say? He said, I don't know, but he said his voice changed, and it was like, that's why nobody's scared of you. It was mad funny. Hold on, I gotta play it.
I thought I shared it.
Did you see the clip where he was playing video games? And he was like, "Oh my God, this is that." Like Karl Anthony said, you saw that?
Nah, I didn't.
I said, I didn't know he was like that until I said, "Oh, I always knew there was like a little, you know how you can see the little sugar."
Yeah.
But when they said that, I said, "Oh, he all the way there."
Nah, he did. He did.
I made my wife watch the clip of how he would do the post game, and his voice would be all NBA ready. It would be all deep.
Me. Yeah.
And then they played the podcast and stuff that he was on, where he was like real sweet.
Girl.
Yeah. It was like,
Nah,
what?
he was on the PG-13, and he asked him something. He was like, "Girl."
Yeah.
I said,
What you mean, girl?
He sat back. He's like, wait a second.
"Yeah, because nobody says that. You don't say that by mistake."
Yo, here it is. Here you go.
Girl.
What you
It's
guys
like,
doing here? And why is Cat with you? Oh, you didn't hear the news. He's with us now. We're back, baby. Big deal. We got Paul George now. You guys can take your cat and shove him up your diddy holes. Forget these guys. I know who will crap their pants from this. Don't know if you heard the news, but we got Cat. We brought you this to clean yourselves up. Big deal. He's softer than that toilet paper in your hand. Why is nobody scared we got Cat? It doesn't make any sense.
He said it doesn't make any sense. That shit had me crying, bro.
Hey, yo, they stupid, man. They play too much.
I don't know, bro. Listen, don't get me wrong. There is a soft factor to the guy. You know what I mean?
They've
Like,
been saying that.
there is a soft factor to the guy.
Wait, did
but-
you see the post game that he did with Anthony Edwards, and Anthony Edwards quoted him with the whole after that thing?
Nah,
Yeah, they
I
said
didn't
he was
see that.
teasing them.
Yo, he looked at him.
I
He
didn't
was
see
like,
that.
"Yo, that joint had me dying."
I
Because
didn't see
Anthony,
that.
Wait, he looked at him like what?
Let me see if I can find it, man. I watched.
Hold
it
on.
was
Who looked at who like what?
Cat looked at Anthony like yo, let me see if I can find it, man. That joint was funny. And that was real. It was during the playoffs.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. As far as what he does on the basketball floor on the hardwood, right? Pause, because you can't even talk like that now. But as far as what he does on the basketball court, I think that it's gonna be that much better when we beating cats in the playoffs. And you got this dude, they call him, he's softer than tissue paper. Like, I really want to see all of that. I want to see all of that with like, I want to keep that energy. Like, you know what I mean? I want to, if everybody got.
So my thing is all right,
Joke
cool.
on.
Cool. He's soft, right? Let's say.
All right.
But how many situations is him being tough? Like, how's it gonna get you out of anything being tougher? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he might be soft, but if he was tougher, how would it change how many games we're gonna win? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my question when it comes to it. Like, yeah, he might be a little soft, and it's not fun to watch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit might be annoying. But if we winning games, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yo, he mad soft. You know what I mean? Like, yo, listen.
Like, yo, we winning games, but I don't like the way you moving, Paul. We got, you know what I mean?
Because KP is soft to me, but he won the championship.
He just won a championship, but they ain't win because of him.
They didn't win. Right, exactly. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, he could be soft. We're not looking for him to be our guy. Like, we got Jalen, and to be honest with you, when you got a guy like Jalen, you pretty good. You don't really got to worry about much. But let me show y'all real quick what I was talking about. Let's share the screen. Yeah, here we go. Yep. Yeah, here we go. Shout out to DJ Azulo. So these are the clips that I'm talking about. You got this guy here. Now look, he gets the ball. And he's dribble through practice. And he's turn. Like, what are you doing? Okay, cool. 7 foot. That's one, right? Okay, cool.
Wait, that's one what?
That was one clip. That was one clip. Second clip, same thing.
Here's the thing: Minnesota's got to the foul line several times.
He's doing the same thing Julius was doing.
Very look. It's not over. Like, what are you doing? And that's the kind of thing that we kind of got upset at Julius for. Is like, you know, just the effort. The effort sometimes was just like, what are you even doing? So here we go.
Out of his hands as he went to shoot it. Towns just barrels in.
You know, it's like when he gets the ball in his hands, it's like a freight train. He doesn't really think about what he's doing. He just kind of goes sometimes, and that's the frustration that you can have as a franchise and a guy that you depend on. And this is the last
shot high off the glass to have it just die right on the glass like it did. Nice soft touch.
Towns to Beverly.
That's
like
arguable. That could have went either way.
That could have been went either way. But these are plays that supposedly he makes pretty often. And that's not fun. It's not fun to watch. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, Oh, it's fine. It's whatever. Like we're still gonna win the game. Like I'm
Because
gonna
we
be
was
upset.
tight. We was tight with Julius for doing the same exact type of stuff.
Same exact thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to see you making low IQ basketball plays. That drives me insane. Missing a shot is not gonna bother. I don't care if you miss a shot. That's just part of the game. But missing a shot, not getting back on defense, like your effort here, then like that taking bad shots, low IQ shots is poor shot selection. And I think that's what we will have less of when it comes to Cat versus Julius, because the ball is in his hands so much more than Cat. Like Julius was like, we looked for him.
He was a star though.
Yeah, like not only was he a star, but that's what you looked for him for. Like you needed him to create offense. You wanted him to create a shot. You wanted him to create an opening in the corner by drawing in a double team. So you had to primarily run a lot of your offense through him just to get a lot of things going. And I think that's the thing that makes the trade good to look at on the eyes, because it's like, all right, we don't have to run it through Julius just to get actions going now. He's a good enough shooter where you can put him in the corner and the guy has to guard him. You're not gonna get a double team on if you got Jalen Brunson and you got Karl Anthony Towns on the same side. You're not gonna get a double team on either one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm looking forward to, like the pick and roll between those two. I think that'll be a really, really good thing to see. The pick and pop. Like I think the trade has really opened up some opportunities, but I think more than anything, more than people are talking about now, I don't think this opens the window for us to win this year. It's possible, but I do think what they're doing is building the groundwork so that we have a sustainable team for the next 4 to 5 years. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be surprised if, they're not pissed off that they lost, didn't win a championship this year, because I do think they're just like putting a skeleton of a team together. They're going to have to fill in that big position, because I'm not sure how open Karl Anthony Towns is to playing the 5. You're also going to have to get a backup guard, whether it's a 2 or a 1, because you're just going to need more shot creation. Somebody that's a little bit more reliable than Campaign. But I do think that this team can make a push this year, depending on health of other teams. We can actually end up in the finals. You know what I mean? But I think that's how close we are. That it'll take an injury for us to get there. But I think
analysts are saying we're going right to the Eastern Conference Finals. Some of these people.
I mean, we should. That's how it's looking. We should be able to do that. But if I'm being honest, like I can't just say we're gonna run through everybody in 1 year and not have that chemistry. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of chemistry that's gonna have to be built. I do like the fact that they made the move prior to training camp. Let these guys get through the mud and figure things out. I'd rather you not have to wait till the deadline and then try to get these guys to figure some chemistry out and things not working. I think it gives Mikal a lot of time. Now, I don't think Mikal is going to have an issue with fitting in and finding a role. I think he kind of he's one of those guys that just you plug and play. But like Cat, I don't know. I mean,
it's tough to say.
Yeah, it's tough to say. It's tough to say, man. But I do want to say that I am confident that the offense will be it will flow better this year. I can say that. I think that the offense will definitely flow better. There's going to be a lot more opportunity for guys to have open shots and not get double teamed, like what you saw a lot with Julius. So I do think that there's an opportunity for us to make some big moves. Who do you think is another player out there that we don't have that we could add to the roster to bring things to a close?
That's the question that I was asking myself. I was just like, all right, because even when people were talking about trading Randle, I'm like, but who are we going to get from? Like, what makes sense? Mm-hmm. So even thinking now with the move that they just made, if we are looking to get rid of Mitch, we would have to trade him. The only person that keeps coming up from multiple sources that I feel like would be a really good move, maybe not really good, but it will be a decent move, is the Kessler one. I don't know if y'all talked about him yet.
Yeah, Walker Kessler, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
we didn't talk about him yet though. No.
Oh, okay. Because I know I was a little bit late coming in, but I like to see him play for New York because he looked like somebody will just put his head down and just play.
Yeah.
Not a lot of talk back, not a lot of drama, like just play ball. And I don't know, like I don't even know like how Cat is gonna handle playing for Tibbs. So
Again,
that was in the back of my head, but I'm like, he's a professional. He's played the game, so I mean, like he would just have to, just figure it out. But Kessler is the only other person that I would really consider that I'm really thinking about.
Yeah. Kessler would be great because more than anything, he's not going to come in here and demand a big role. You know what I'm saying? Like he can come in and just fit seamlessly. Has a lot of upside. I've honestly, since the McCall trade, I've been wanting them to go get Kessler. I've been wanting them to go get Kessler. We needed a big. Kessler just fills a lot of the spots that we just don't have right now. Especially a young guy with health as well.
Yeah, and he's talented.
Talented. He sees the floor pretty well. I think it's a good move. I like that one right there. I like that one right there. Dre, anybody that you think is somebody we should go after to try to bring into the squad?
I don't know. First thing that comes to mind when you say that, I'm like, do we have any money? Because this contract that we got is that's why I thought Marcus Morris. I thought it was like a great piece to be in there at a power forward position. I thought that would be dope, considering how good he had played before. Not saying that it'll be the same thing. I don't know what it was about him in New York, but he was be charming on this team, this shooter or not. Kitty Kate.
He's saying Kitty Cat. He call him Kitty Cat. Damn, that's about to be his nickname. It's over.
Oh, Kitty if he Cat. Don't play well, you know how the New York Post do it. Kitty Cat.
Go crazy, but right in the back page. Kitty Cat. This
Kitty Cat. Yo, forget it.
I can see.
But I don't know. As far as it seems like, we need a bona fide like shooting guard. I'm not sure who that they were talking about. What's his name today? Even though I don't, that wouldn't work. What's his name from the Bulls? Zach LaVine.
Yeah.
But something like that at the 2. But I don't know if he's the answer. I don't know. I gotta like look at who's out there. I do like the squad though. I do like our squad. There's like there's name. I think the big name when you have Jalen Brunson. I just think we have a scrappy team. We have dogs.
Yeah.
I do like the team. I do like the squad. I think the question mark is the bench. I don't know who we would get. Like, if I could see the names, I'd be like, all right, maybe this person. Yeah, I gotta like look at it and be like, oh, this guy would be a great fit. But whoever we need now, there's like a lot of people who need the ball now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know if
how many people, you think so? You think who's gonna need the ball?
Yeah.
I mean, outside of Cat, Jalen, and
you got Jalen, you got Karl Anthony Towns, you got to get Bridges some touches. Just in terms of he should be the one that could catch and shoot.
Yeah, Bridges. I think Bridges. He came from a place where he knows that he was a big role player. You know what I'm saying? So I think he'll slide right back into that. I don't think he.
And I do think that. I do think that you got to get it to him though. Yeah, I think he's there. He's gonna play some great defense and stuff like that.
Wasn't OG complaining about getting more time with the ball and creating stuff like that?
True. That might open a position for him to get that. Because him and Julius on the floor, you're not gonna get much creation at the basket with Julius there too.
It makes sense to have Josh Hart starting if that's the case, and that's starting 5, right? Because he's never asking for the ball. He never really wants to shoot.
Right.
Yeah.
It never really. He shoots like if he has to. The shot clock getting down, something like that, or if there's nothing else, and they playing good defense, and he ends up shooting the rock. And if he knocked down like he did in the playoffs, he was knocking down threes. They was like giving him the shot, and he was knocking down threes. It's like, oh, now you can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But outside of that, if you have somebody, I think I would just love it to be a team of dogs. Let me look at who's in it. I just love that. That for me, that's my
team of dogs. Yeah. I'm gonna hit the chat real quick. Nick's excuse me. Nick's on it said Randall and Cat are about the same thing, just one is taller and shoots better. But yeah, I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
I don't know about these centers not playing center though.
I don't think Cat was ever a center. I think
He's
he was
big like
always a power forward. Yeah, he's built like a center, but
Yeah.
his game is never center.
Yeah.
His game has always been stretch big. You know what I'm saying? Dirk Nowitzki kind of.
But here's the thing about Karl Anthony Towns
Mm-hmm.
at center. We haven't had a center that could score in forever. Like, I don't know what, since Patrick Ewing. It just seems like
Patrick
for somebody who could drop 40 on
what's
you.
My man, what's my man Freedom Cantor?
Oh.
Oh,
Enos Cantor was your man. That was your man's back in the day.
I like Cantor. You know, I think it was more I wanted from him. But he had a couple nights he dropped 30. But he was scrapping for that.
Unlike the Hornets, yeah, he was dropping 30 on the Hornets.
Yeah, he had a few nights where he was scrapping and all of that. So, you know, I mean, I don't think I like Cantor because he just had that kind of attitude. But
Now you were making a point though.
You threw me off, Kat. I just think, but we haven't had a center that could score
right
like this in a long time. Like, I don't think we ever had a superstar center. So to have that, it changes everything. Like, I just want to see
outside of Ewing.
That's what I said. Since Ewing.
Oh yeah, right, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We haven't had that since Ewing, and so like that changes how the game is going to be. Are we putting it in his hands? Like, are we letting him back down for 3 to 5 seconds? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of role? And I think that this is going to be not a challenging year for Tibbs, but Tibbs got to figure out how to manage that. It just changes the way that the whole squad moves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
It's to me, it's tough because you kind of gotta accept what each player does and doesn't do, and you gotta accept that Cat is just not gonna give you much on defense. Like, you gotta accept it.
They say he rebounds reasonably well.
No, he rebounds well, but he's a he gets into foul trouble every game. It's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
It's really bad. He picks up fouls for no obvious reason half the time. A lot of times it's because he's in bad defensive position.
Yep.
And that's kind of what you're going to have to deal with, foul trouble. And you know how it was when we had Mitch and he kept getting in foul trouble. You know what I'm saying? It was hard to keep him on the floor. It was hard to keep the offense running fluent because he just wasn't on the floor long enough.
Yeah.
There's going to be times where we can't play Cat in crunch time or crucial minutes that aren't fourth quarter minutes because he's in foul trouble.
Got so many fouls, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that is something that will be frustrating. Hopefully Tibbs can work with him on that. Or put him in a position. Whatever. Yeah, or just put him in a position to where he like that doesn't have to happen as much. Because let's be real. He's not the craziest defender. He can get a block here or there. But more often than not, his fouls come from trying to reach in or reaching over because he's not far enough over, because his feet didn't get him in the spot. So he's reaching now to make up that room and then picks up a foul. And everybody knows it because he does it all the time.
I do believe that the squad we got should make the game easier for him.
For sure.
I think that's what's happening. Like us on the defensive end of the ball, I think that he's got a lot of help with OG, Mikal Bridges. I think the only real liability, if Josh Hart is in that starting five, the only real liability is why is his name escaping me right now? I was starting point guard. I can't take
Jalen.
Yeah, I don't understand that he's the only one that would be a liability, but that's not something that the center can make up for. But I think they surrounded him with a lot of lengthy guys and scrappy guys. So I just think, and then offensively, Jalen Brunson, we all know, could get hot any night. He could drop 40 any given night. You know what I'm saying? We have yet to see how it's going to be with Mikal. I know Mikal could get hot and drop 30 on any night. I just think that it could be the matchups could be a nightmare from night to night. And Karl Anthony Towns filling in at the center. And if we do keep Mitch, which I really hope we do, I kind of want to, if we can keep that, I just think that him coming off the bench behind, I would like it. I would like. You see that?
Bro, did you see what he yesterday?
He's the longest Knick right now. Like, he's been on the Knicks longest.
Yeah, but did you?
I do like a healthy Mitch though. I do like a healthy Mitch.
He's the longest Knick. Yo, what's Dwight said?
Yo, chill out, man.
Like, I ain't saying that. I wasn't even talking.
Yeah, they be like, yo, he's the longest Knick. Dwight said, what?
Who?
Who? Me?
Who? Come here. No, Dwight. Out the locker room. There you go again.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. They might have a security guard in the locker room just for Dwight. Like, yo. Too much, yo. You said too much, my G. Shout out to my man, Toxic. It's been a minute since we had Toxic in here. Toxic said, "What? It's been a minute, man. It's been a minute, man. We had a long summer. Had a long summer. You know what I'm saying? Pause. No Diddy. Can't say those kind of
Xavier
words.
said Amari was a scoring center. He was never considered.
All right. See, I was actually going to bring that up. Karl Anthony Towns is more along the lines of a stat. I don't think he's a center. He's too
sloppy to be a power forward, though.
Who?
Karl Anthony Towns.
Too sloppy?
I wouldn't say he's too sloppy.
Y'all just say he's exactly like Julius.
No, I ain't gonna say he's sloppy. I wouldn't say he's sloppy. He's actually, the problem with him is poor decision making. It doesn't look bad with Cat. It actually looks good. It always looks good. It's just, why are you doing that right now? You know what I'm saying? Like what are you doing right now? Like this is not the time to do that. So, I mean, I think I don't want to say.
I ain't hear nothing from him yet. I feel like he ain't happy yet.
I also feel like there's a little bit of a shock from him. Like, I do think he's a little shocked. But let's be real. He's from New Jersey. He's from the area.
He's from New Jersey?
Yeah, he's from New Jersey. I mean, he's a New York. He's a big New York fan. He's a Yankee fan. Like he's just like Donovan. He's just like Donovan Mitchell.
He about to research and look at him.
You're like, he what? Jake about to look. He from the area?
I thought he was from New York though.
Nah, he's from Jersey.
I know you have Dominican. I hit my man at work. I was like, yo, we got to go to a game now. I'm like, all the Dominican flags is gonna be out there now.
Oh, Bobby, come on, Bobby. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. They about to be. I forgot what Dominican player it was, but they tweeted about it, and he was like, "We about to have the whole Dominican Republic in the garden," and da da da. I was like, "That's what's up. Just bring them all in the garden, bro. That'd be fine. I ain't gonna lie though, but
yo, forget it. In New York though,
that would be fire. Let's be real.
And it's in New Jersey.
If this works the way that they think it can, this has the opportunity to be one of the best teams New York has ever seen. If it just laying it all out there.
This is what I'm saying. Like on paper, we're supposed to be ill.
Yeah, on paper, there's so much opportunity for this team to be very, very, very good. But I mean, a lot has to happen.
The trade is not official yet.
It's not. It's not official. It's not completed. There's so many moving parts. That's why I don't even think he's going to be there on, is it tomorrow or Tuesday when training camp starts? He'll be there, but I don't think the trade like officially can go through yet. Yeah. Toxic said, how long before the Brunson crime family starts taking some blame? Yo, what are you talking about?
The Brunson crime family
starts taking some blame.
They say he's born in Edison, New Jersey, so he's pretty much born 15 minutes from New York City.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's there, man. I mean, it's cool. It's cool to have somebody who's from the area and knows what it's like to be from the area and how important it is to be from the area and play it. I think that's what adds to Jalen's aura. You know what I'm saying? The fact that he's from the area, his dad played as a Knick before. He's in the locker room, you know what I mean, with Marcus Camby and all of them, like, you know what I'm saying, with Patrick Ewing. So like just being familiar with the people of New York, it says a lot. It does a lot for you. I don't think he ever had the kind of support that he will have here that he had, that like compared to Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? I think Minnesota always loved him because he was the guy that they drafted number one. But I think when there's, like I said, when there's like a New York factor to it, I think there's it just takes things to another level. I really think that he can really be somebody special for the squad. But like I said, a lot of things got to fall into place. Jelani said the Knicks are one of the best defensive teams in regards to team defense. The math ain't mathing. It's true. Cat can shoot.
The math ain't mathing. It sounded like it was positive, and then he said the math ain't mathing in terms of.
Because the first thing he said was Cat can shoot, he can score, but he's streaky. He's not physical. he commits a lot of fouls because he doesn't know how to play defense. And then that's when he said the Knicks are one of the best defensive teams in the league in regards to team defense. The math ain't mathing. So that's what I'm saying. Like, they have to find a way to hide him on defense, is what I was referring to earlier. You got to find a way to hide the guy because you don't want him taking on a bigger role defensively because you're going to be in foul trouble all the time. So,
Then comes Mitchell Robinson
in January, right? You know what I'm saying? Whenever that happens, you know what I'm saying?
That's when it counts. Second half of the season.
Yeah, if he lasts that long, we'll see.
I mean, I'll take him. I'll take him like toward the end of the season.
That's what I'm saying. He half the season. He's back. They both collecting all the fouls. I think Mitchell Robinson got a lot better with collecting fouls. Yeah, I think I always say this, that mid-season, a few months in, that everybody starts to hit their stride. I think that Jalen Brunson being the point guard, I think he's a good floor general. I don't know if great as far as getting the teams. I think that it could he's a mismatch nightmare for this is now that's what I'm saying.
Shout out to Keyshawn.
Depending on because there's a lot of teams that don't really have a 5.
But the teams that matter, like Philly, is who I'm most concerned about.
Yeah, but all right. So who's the teams that matter with that 5? You got. What's my man on Miami?
Boston.
Bam. You got Bam. You got Joel Embiid. Giannis could be anywhere from a 5 to a 3. He's. But that's OG's.
He's a small forward. He's a big ass small forward. If you ask.
He's a giant small forward. Who's what's his name on the Celtics? We got KP, Kristaps Porzingis, who's soft too. Who said he didn't want to bang with big guys. We got to use that against him.
It's true.
No Diddy. Yeah, he
can't handle it.
You can't handle it. No Diddy again. No Diddy.
No Diddy.
Baby oil. No Diddy.
no KY. So Delani said he literally said he wants to be the best shooting big man. He does not want to be anywhere near the paint. And he's been playing like it the past few years. We did not get a center, right? That's fact. So he's not a center. He's not a center. And that's the other thing. Unless he
is the best shooting center of all time. That's what he said.
He said that. He said that.
All right, so this is even better to have Mitchell and you have Karl Anthony Towns because now Karl Anthony Towns can have fun at the power forward and Mitch could be a center.
Listen, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the problem is they don't trust Mitch anymore.
No,
that trust
is gone. Yeah, it's done. The trust is gone. The trust is it's absent. So a trade for him will be made. Like
they need to give him some steroids. Make sure his bones and ligaments.
He's not built for it. He don't got the body. Don't get me wrong. He's really good. It's just he gets very right. He's like Anthony Davis sometimes. You know how Anthony Davis just gets these injuries out of nowhere, and it's kind of
but you ain't get rid of Anthony Davis. You we got to keep him because he might do something.
That's the difference. You keep Anthony Davis because he's that talented.
Yeah,
he can score.
Is Mitchell?
So Mitchell was a threat.
There you go. You see, you going. You see, I'm going.
I could dig it, but if you got somebody on the floor who can't really score, but you could rely on him defensively, like you can with Mitch. I think going into the playoffs that works. Imagine that starting 5. Little Box is gonna be half off if he stopped.
Yo, Lonnie, you gotta relax, bro.
Little Box is gonna be half off.
Yo, what the fuck is that? That's funny. That's funny. Sharon said, "Shout out to you, Sharon." He said, "Good night, all." Follows. Anyway, I have a question. There you go. What is your best availability? Mitch has played more games in Towns over the past 5 years. KP has played more games in Town. Wow, that's big. That's big. What we have lost in the trade, Randall is the second best creator. He is the best post-up player, man-on-man defense. He demands a double team. He is anything but soft. I mean,
man-on-man defense? Julius, absolutely.
The defense. All right. So the problem with Julius defensively is not man-on-man defense. It is the team defense.
Yeah.
So he does play man-on-man defense pretty well. Same thing that the Melo conversation. For years, Melo was actually one of the best wing defenders in the league, one-on-one, but he was a terrible team defender. And that's where the Carmelo's not a good defender shit comes from. It's because he's not a good defender. You know what I'm saying? Team defender. But very true. Towns has played 250 games in the past 5 years. This is where the concern comes in. You know what I'm saying? The concern comes in because how do we keep him on the floor? Like, what do we do to keep him healthy? The moment he goes out for an extended period of time towards the end of the season, we know that our season is over. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like what happened with Julius the year before. He got hurt toward the end of the season, and we kind of were like, damn. He tried to come back and play, and you already knew what it looked like once the first game he played. He was standing in the corner. He couldn't really do much, and it was pretty much over. So are we back there? You know what I'm saying? Like, and don't get me wrong, any team is one injury away from not being able to go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, hypothetically. How often are we gonna have to deal with injury issues when with Cat? You know what I'm saying? That's my concern. Is how much can we trust that he will be available? I'm sorry, Sherman said, you know, what is your availability? Like, your best ability is your availability. You know what I'm saying? And that's why LeBron is one of the GOATs, because he's probably missed 20, 30, 40 games his entire career. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's same thing with Cat, like not Cat, KP with KP. Like, you know, he got lucky in that situation. You know what I mean? Like, if the situation with him being hurt, like, he was hurt all year this year, and they still won a championship. You know what I'm saying? So you never know how much you're gonna have, especially a big guy. These guys go down like it could be a drop of a hat. Like, it can go down for whatever. So, you know, just being available is something that we got to look out for him. And it's just very, very, very tough. Very, very tough. Keyshawn said, besides Jokic and Embiid, what big man is going to give him problems? And
that's what I was talking about.
You can't really say there's many. I mean, those are the best three bigs in the league.
That's what I said. Bam could give him problems.
Yeah. Bam might be the other guy giving problems, but a
lot of guys aren't really scoring centers. They're like big men. I think that you know, this dude's in the West. What's his man? He just left. Could give him some problems. He needs some milk.
He needs some milk.
But this is my thing with everybody. Even Rudy Gobert, like, right? That dude's foot get hurt, he's done.
It's over. It's over. It's a wrap.
You know what I'm saying? So like, when it comes to Joel Embiid is another one. He's always beat up. A lot of these centers miss. It just seems like that's the thing, which is why I think we should keep Mitch. Because if Mitch has reduced minutes and Karl Anthony Towns has reduced minutes, I think that we could at least preserve him. Hopefully, somebody will be available. Like, because if we trade for Mitch, then who we getting back?
Gotta be like I can't depend on two guys that are injury prone. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta have one guy I can rely on. Right. Especially at the same position. Now, like, say if you have like Philly, for example, you got Paul. No. You got Paul George. You got Paul George and you got Joel Embiid, and they're both injury prone players. But the fact that they don't play the same position is what makes it easy for you to make that happen. You know what I'm saying? But when you have now Cat and Mitch don't necessarily play the same position, but they're both bigs that should be occupying the floor at the same time. So when you have that issue and you got a guy like Cat, who, as Sherwin says, didn't play a lot of minutes. He's actually, what was the last thing? One of the last things you said, Sherwin? He said, let's see. It said, Mitch has played more games than Karl Anthony Towns. So if we're worried about Mitch playing those games and Mitch gets hurt and then Karl Anthony Towns is hurt, what do we have?
We're back at ground zero, but that can happen anywhere, anybody.
Facts. But you also have to understand the fact
it's going to happen to us.
It's going to happen. So what do we do to counteract that? Like, do we just leave Mitch here so that the opportunity for him to be hurt again in another playoff run? Because this will be the third playoff run. If this happens again. I do like Clint Capella. I do like Clint. That's a good move. Keyshawn was saying that I want a veteran, tough, big Capella Adams. I like Adams. Steven Adams. That's the name I was gonna say earlier. Steven Adams. I really, really like Steven Adams. Great rebounder. I think I think he's like second or third, top 5 offensive rebounding.
How old is Steven Adams now, though? That motherfucker been around.
He's probably like my age, like 34, 35, 36 ish.
That's old. for a big man,
Yo,
big
relax.
feet,
You gotta
them
chill out.
knees.
Come on,
For the
man.
NBA,
No, I ain't gonna lie. A big man
Yeah, NBA.
in the NBA.
I'm like, you're not old, but for the
I felt like he
NBA,
was-
when you 7 feet,
was on
you've
his-
been jumping and running. Nah,
Yeah,
Oh, he's
slow down.
31. Yeah, Keyshawn say 31. Like, see, look, chill out. You
Nah,
trying
he
to
got
go,
time. He got time. He got 2-3 years.
you tried to air my man out like that. Don't do that to
I was
Steven.
just asking. Capella old too, but I like Capella. He mobile.
I'll tell you what. If Mitch, if Tibbs is the guy that I know him to be, I wouldn't be surprised if they're looking at trying to get Steven Adams because Tibbs loves rebounders. He loves guys that can protect the paint and grab like really, really, really good rebounds. And he said it's the
Adams
last
is
year in
the
his
perfect
contract.
guy to go out there and give Joel Embiid like a nice little elbow to the jaw.
See, and look, another reoccurring theme. Adams been hurt.
That's
the
what I'm
past
saying.
two
What
seasons.
center we getting?
That's what I'm saying. A reoccurring theme. No matter what center you have, you're going to have injuries at this point because this is not like back in the day where a lot of your centers
Aquaman.
are like, he is Aquaman. Like this is not like back in the day where a lot of your centers are in the paint. You know what I'm saying? Like you there's a lot less injuries. You're in the paint doing post moves. How much hurt can you get doing post moves in the paint? But now a lot of these big men. Now these big men at the 3-point line, they dribbling, they driving, they doing 2 steps from here, they euroing and all kind of shit. So yeah, you playing like a guard, you're gonna get hurt more. So
that's why, like, I just feel like if it Karl Anthony Towns, Mitchell Robinson, Rudy Gobert, Aquaman, all these dudes, Capella, like all these dudes have injury problems. These big dudes, everybody. I think Jalen Brunson was like he was super resilient. He's a smaller guy, but he plays out there. He's not. He's taking fouls. He's drawing fouls left and right. Like that's always a risk. I just think that now the thing with Tibbs is the guy he drives people into the ground. You know what I'm saying? So like when I say I want Mitch, I just think that if you can have a game where you switch it up, with Mitch comes in behind Karl Anthony Towns, or they play together just so that Karl Anthony Towns could play against a smaller power forward, it could be a matchup nightmare.
You gotta stagger that. So, yeah, that's to stagger that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you got Precious Achiuwa in there. Like if he's playing the 4, Karl Anthony Towns is the 5, OG is the 3. Like I think there's a lot of things, a lot of options we have to be, because at the end of the day, the defense got to be the thing that gets us to the playoffs like that, or gets us out of the playoffs, or gets us deep into the playoffs, I should say.
Yeah, and that's the good thing about where we are as a team. I was thinking about this earlier. Like, I'm so happy that I don't have to worry about how many games we're gonna win in the regular season now. Like, I don't care. I truly do not care how many games.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. I don't care what seed we end up in. None of it matters. I've reached that point to now. I know that we're past that. It's not about regular season and the seeding. I don't care who we play. I'm pretty sure that whoever we play, they're gonna have it coming for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so personally, my eyes are on the playoffs. If you end up with one of the top 3 teams, which should be either Philly, Boston, or Milwaukee, outside of the Knicks, of course. If you end up in that class, you're not gonna end up playing any of the top teams for the first round. So yeah, first round is not something I'm worried about now. You know what I mean? So bearing injury, if we don't get hurt, because if we get hurt, then we'll probably end up towards the middle of the pack. You know what I'm saying? And then you end up playing whoever in the first round. But if we play a solid season, we get everybody healthy, we can coast towards the playoffs and have an easier first round. It's the second and third round, and I think there's a possibility for us. I don't see the Bucks beating us in a 7-game series. I'm just being honest. The only team like now, the Philly, it's a really good team. Philly's a really good team. I'm looking at Paul George. You got Paul George. You got Joel Embiid. You got Maxey. Those are really, really, really good pieces. So, can I sit here and say that they'll smack them? Nah, I can't. I can't say that. I can sit here and say that we've bolstered our team enough so that other teams have to be worried about us, but I don't think we're in a position to say that we're going to the finals. You know what I'm saying? Not just yet. There's a lot of pieces that we got to add to the bench and other things to see how that goes. Who are you gonna say, Dre?
Let me add this really quick. I'm looking at this article, ESPN, right? And because this is one of the things we talked about him and Thibodeau. It says reuniting with Coach Tom Thibodeau could enhance Towns' value. He averaged 23 points per game, 12.3 rebounds per game, and 204 games under Thibodeau from 2016 to early 2019, becoming one of the only 3 players during that period to log at least 4,000 points and 2,000 rebounds. So I do think that because when we look at his value where he was with Minnesota last year with Rudy Gobert playing a 5, they said, that messed with his ceiling. So if he comes with numbers close to that, 23 points per game from your center. Remember I complained about that a bunch of times?
Yeah.
I kept complaining about our centers grab rebounds and they looking around and they're not going back up.
They're not looking at the basket. Yeah.
They're not looking at the basket. These dudes, they might put it back if it's there, but not scoring centers, like that changes everything. And like, so him not being a center, like he is statistically, he's a 7 foot, he's a center. And if he gets 23 rebounds, averaging, like that's pretty. Wait, what it said? How much he rebounded at that time? 12.3 rebounds per game. 23 points per game. In 204 games from 2016 and 2019. So he wasn't healthy the whole time, but that's always something that you got to manage. At this day and age with the game, that's just something you got to manage. You got to figure something out. Right, I just think that we have to figure out if we could do it up to January before we're supposed to get Mitch back. And we were going to be dealing with something with Jules if he's going to miss a couple first weeks. There's always that thing where you have to manage that.
Yeah, and supposedly he wasn't. What did Brian Windhorst say? Because I don't want to just start talking. I don't know exactly what I'm saying. Brian Windhorst said that. Let me just look at the quote right here. It says Brian Windhorst of ESPN reported that Randall and the Knicks had made no progress on a potential contract extension, and that Randall wasn't exactly sure where he fit into the team's new core. So, what I mean? Like I see you guys talking in the chat. I know Sharon said, I'm hoping the trade falls through. We can get a lot better than Towns for Randall and Dante. And I don't know how we can do that.
I don't know how we do better than that.
I'm only saying it because if you look
Give
at
me an example of what's better.
If you look at the numbers, you're not gonna get someone to replace 20 and 10 from Randall outside of like Towns and other stars in the league that aren't tradable right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's a move that had to be made. Like Knicks GM said, no one wants Randall. We got lucky. We got this deal for him.
What is this falling through at this point after it's already? What is that? How does this not?
That's another thing. It can't fall through. They already, once they said that, it's like, yeah. So
this is it. However they come up with it, whatever they got to do.
They said Mikal Bridges unlikely to sign a 2-year extension with Knicks with preference for a longer
unlikely
deal 25. I mean, let's be real. I don't have a concern about what Mikal's going to do when it's time to resign. He's going to sign here.
Giannis Antetokounmpo would be better. Are they giving us Antetokounmpo?
We would have to give up so much.
We'd have to give up a lot more. That's an MVP. That's an MVP right there.
Yeah,
we can't give it. We ain't got nothing to give him.
We don't got nothing, bro. It's like there's no way we're gonna get better than Cat.
They said Jaren Jackson Jr. is better. Block him.
Better than who?
He's not better than Cat.
You talking about Julius Randle?
No. He's talking about Cat.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you talking about Cat? Jaren Jackson? No, he's not better.
He said the deal is not approved by the NBA yet. Okay. Well, just personally, I think the trade is not going to fall through. I think Leon Rose has been wanting Karl Anthony Towns for years, so he's not letting that.
Been wanting Towns. This deal is going through. However, they finalize it with numbers and money is a whole. That's something else. We gotta. I guess we'll find out soon.
Yeah. What I don't want to do is I don't want to poo-poo it before we even see it on the court. I do think we still got to understand something. Jalen Brunson is good enough to lead the team by himself. We saw him do it last year. Julius is out, this guy's out, that guy's out, and we still are pushing our way through the playoffs. So I do think that this team with Cat if healthy, can go very, very deep into the playoffs. And I mean, we can battle with the Celtics, especially just this team. And I don't think this team is done. Like, I don't think just the way this team is currently constructed, I don't think they're happy with what it is. They're going to go out there and try to find better pieces. They're going to try to find a better bench. They're going to try to get more shot creators off the bench since they lost one. So there's going to be more pieces being made. So when I said earlier that this is about the foreseeable future, like the next 4 to 5 years, I'm not saying that they're not going to try to win it this year. Why wouldn't you try to win it this year? But I do think that they're going to do their best to make sure that every year they get better and better and add better pieces. They're gonna add as many pieces as they can to make this happen. I don't know why. For some reason, Leon gets anything he wants somehow, some way. He just makes it happen. But I'm trusting him, man. I don't really have a concern. There's some question marks for sure. Absolutely. I don't think there's definitely question marks for where this team could go. But I got my confidence in these guys, man. I really think that you still got Jalen, you still got Josh, you still got the guys that and Deuce McBride, the guys that have really stepped up, and two-way players like and Josh and Deuce that really help get us to where the hell we need to go. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I think that this team, as much as we can point out negatives about Cat, I think this team can be really, really good. I don't want to jump too far ahead and start pointing out too many negatives. Yeah, like I think there's a way we can come out on top and really, really be a good team. And with all the things that you guys are talking about, it's possible to have all of those things happen, and we're still a really good team. You know what I'm saying? You still got, let's be real, guys. Like, we still have two of the best perimeter defenders in the league. We still got Mikal Bridges. We still have OG Anunoby. We still have arguably one of the best up-and-coming superstars in the NBA. So adding Cat to that doesn't make me upset. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that's going to
even if
lower our ceiling.
Right. Like your man in the comments saying that he had us 60 games before the trade, and now that's dropping us to 50. Even if that were true, we still playoff bound, and we could figure that out from there.
Right.
I don't believe that we dropped 10 games. If we did drop 10 games the first season we have Cat, I think it's a continuity type of a thing. I think it's one of those things where the squad got to figure out, because now you got a scoring center. That's one thing we haven't had with New York, like I mentioned before, for a long time. Whether he's going to be playing center minutes or whether he's going to be playing power forward minutes, whatever the case may be, salute, Kareem. I think there's going to be some adjustments that the Knicks team, but I do think what I'm confident about with Jalen Brunson is that he can figure it out as far as being on the floor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think OG is going to be OG. Injury prone or not, OG is going to be OG. I think Mikal is going to be Mikal. He's a great 3-point shooter. I think the spread on the floor, I think he could have an easy night any night. If they pay any attention to Jalen Brunson or Karl Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges is going to be able to knock down some things. If you forget about OG in the corner, he's going to be able to knock down that three. I just think that I don't think the Knicks got so we can't see it yet. But from where I'm standing, I wouldn't go crazy and say, "Yo, we got 10 more this season, but 10 less." I think we pretty much in that. If we stay in that same, you remember we came in third. We lost. We got injured towards the end of the season. Still ended up. What we came in second place in the East.
Second place.
Ended up second place in the East. And I really don't see anybody in the East got that much better except for Philadelphia.
Yeah,
facts.
We got an older PG, injury prone. They got an older PG, injury prone, and then Embiid, injury prone. We have yet to see all of that. You know what I'm saying? And they don't have Marcus Morris anymore. Didn't they have him, or was he with who was he with? Was he at the Clippers?
He was with the Clippers.
Yeah. So I just feel like as far as all of that is concerned, I think I can't wait to see what it looks like. Like us on paper, we going straight to the Eastern Conference Finals on paper. Whether you saw tissue paper or all of that, even with that, they made the They made the West Conference Finals.
Whew, this is big. Hold on. First of all, Sharon, like, much love, bro. Shout out to you, bro. Much love. I understand and passion, but let's just calm down. I don't
He's
think
not
we got
alone.
that much worse.
He's not alone.
He's
A
not
lot of-
alone. He's not alone.
Yeah.
I know that. That's why I'm saying, like, I understand, because I've spoken to a lot of people who feel like we
So,
got
but
worse.
Dante is a role player just like Mikal Bridges is a role player. Like we didn't get a lot worse.
So, and that's my thing.
We were winning without Julius for like half the season.
We
Down the stretch.
we lost Julius. We lost Julius, and we didn't have him for most of the stretch, and we still went far. Then we add Dante, but then again you add Mikal. So
That's what I'm saying. That cancels that out right there.
Right, that cancels that out. Then you add Cat and you lose Julius. That cancels that out, because it's as you guys are saying in the chat, they're pretty much the same player. Just one's taller and one spreads the floor a little bit better. So I don't think it makes us worse at all.
I think potentially better. He said, So he said Mikal Bridges is a role player.
I think that's what he said. Is that what some from Brooklyn was asking? He said Mikal Bridges is a role player.
So that's what the argument was before. I didn't think he was a role player, but that's what they saying. All right. So we reduce.
I would say like a star role player, like kind of like a.
Yeah, he's like a star role player. He's not like the best man, but but the games still have to be played.
Scottie Pippen kind of elk.
Right. Scottie Pippen kind of role player, but the games still have to be played. I'm looking forward to that, because we still got the Nova Knicks over here. We lost one. I was looking forward to all four of them. That would have been fun, but because Josh Hart is definitely a role player, but he's a pivotal. Like, you need that dude in there.
Yeah.
And Bridges, yes, Keyshawn is a two-way player.
Yeah.
And like he said, Deuce is a secret weapon. I still feel like we got some heavy hitters on this team, and I think that Bridges coming in and losing Dante, because there was like a lot of spots that had to. They saying a lot of people trying to block this. If they saying that, like, this is my thing. If people in the league, if that's true.
That's what I'm saying.
If people in the league are trying to block that, then we go into the Eastern Conference.
Then what are we worried about?
Right.
Let's be honest, bro. With what you saw with Jalen Brunson next to Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, and a bunch of role players, why are we worried right now?
Why we? But there's nothing. We got worse.
There's nothing for us to worry about. Like I said, the
Half
regular
the time
season.
We had Julius, we was crying for him to leave, to get traded.
There you go. That's another part. Because sometimes we watch Julius play, and it's things that he does,
and it's like, what's he doing? He sabotaged games at the end. It look like he's dribbling in traffic. We like, what's this dude doing? He's doing the same thing over and over. He's getting mad at his teammates. His mentals ain't right. We talked about that.
Yep.
Everybody was I had dudes at my job. Everybody was like, we got to get rid of Julius. We got to get rid of Julius. We got to get rid of Julius. And I'm like, I don't know. Son still, when he played. But I also said, as much as he helps the squad, because he's a double-double machine.
Facts.
As much as he helps the squad, sometimes it seems like he hurts the squad just as much.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
If you can keep Julius focused for all 48 minutes, that is a scary guy to have on your team.
That's a scary dude to have, but we didn't.
But you didn't.
Then we had the hat. We here, right? We got the hat from him. You know what I'm saying? So if what he said is true about the league trying to stop it because they see how dangerous you bugging. Because if that's the case, they like, hold up. Now the Knicks is, because nobody was thinking you're gonna be looking at the Knicks like, oh, this is the squad. That because now the New York is the team.
Yeah.
If we get through the first 10 games, anything looking like 8-2,
it's gonna be scary.
At that point, it's gonna be scary.
Especially if we get out of the first game, we beat Boston. If we beat Boston that first game, and then we start winning games after that, it could start going crazy. Yeah. Right. Exactly. See, man, I just think that personally, like, and shout out to the chat, man. Y'all really got it going today. But personally, man, I think that we have a really, really good chance to, and to me, teams don't. It's weird. I don't know if you check the history of how teams are and how they make moves before they win, that's what the Knicks team is starting to look like. The moves being made prior to getting to where you got to go. A lot of these teams that like the Warriors made certain moves, the Raptors made certain moves before they won. Just a lot of these teams that saw a window. You see a window and it's like, okay, the window's here. This is when you make the move. We held all these pieces for this reason. You know what I'm saying? don't get me wrong, Jalen Brunson, he can carry this franchise by himself, but he needed help. He needed help. And he didn't have Julius, and unfortunately, we didn't want to say it out loud, but a majority of us knew that when he went down with that injury, that we knew that was the last game we were going to see Julius in the Knicks jersey.
I didn't think that. I thought a dislocated shoulder, son. You put it back, you wrap him up for a few weeks.
No. I mean, once he couldn't come back, we knew that was going to be the last time. Because to be honest with you, if he came back and then they started playing well, I think they probably would have kept him, because at least he would have known his role on this roster. You know what I'm saying? He would have known what he was supposed to be. But I don't think that opportunity wasn't there. So unfortunately, now you got to make that move. But like you said, if you don't, like I said earlier, Brian Windhorst, you don't have someone who wants to sign the extension. Supposedly, if you started training camp with Julius Randle, you knew that you were going to have to get rid of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you knew that he wasn't going to, because at some point, I don't think you could. Do you think with the moves and the way that the CBA just now happened and the changes in the CBA, do you think that they would have been able to re-sign Julius Randle to an extension that would have been reasonable for the roster? You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's why the talks, and that's the other factor.
That's why they make them
look at.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, when
did he take a pay cut once before?
He did. But now the thing is,
he took a pay cut, and then they paid RJ Barrett more than him. I think that's probably why this whole shit soured.
Well, not really. No. This is simply because the man won. What he didn't he have a? How many times did he make All NBA? He made two All NBA twice.
Yeah, we traded the All Star for All Star.
Yeah, three-time All Star. Yeah, three-time All Star. So yeah, that's what.
Anthony Towns All Star more than him though. Well, yeah, 4 or 5.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Hold on, y'all gonna make me go on the. Oh.
But you said something that made me say that. You said something that made me say that. But either way,
the pay cut?
Yes, the pay cut. So I think that's why the pay cut was such a thing, because they weren't going to be able to pay him the money that he was going to want when it came to the extension talks. Because at this point, if there was an extension amount that he would have been okay with, he would be a Knick right now. But he's not. You know what I'm saying? They never reached that point. And the word is because 4-time. Because they weren't able to reach an agreement. That's why they had to make this move, because they couldn't go into training camp and start this season with Julius Randle, because it wouldn't allow them to make the moves or the roster flexibility next year.
I believe that over the. I don't know if it was like a quote from him or someone was paraphrasing Julius saying that he wasn't sure of his role. And I'm just like, why would Julius say that? Right. I'm unsure of my role. Like, I don't see it.
Why are you so mad, Brooklyn Knicks fan?
He's still a Knicks fan. Shout out to Brooklyn Knicks fan. He's a Knicks fan. He's from Brooklyn. Hey, don't we got 2 other Knicks fans from Brooklyn that was born in Brooklyn in here right now? What's going on, man? Ain't you?
And some from Brooklyn said something that I was talking about already too.
What say?
Somebody said we traded 2 dogs for a cat. Cat average 24 points. Yeah, that's what I put. I said that already.
Yeah, I can't be mad at that.
Brooklyn.
I like that.
I can't be mad. Brooklyn.
I gotta see it. Leon should have been. See, he going crazy. This is what I'm talking about.
Wow.
All right, so how do you know that?
And he said we delusional.
What is the? And this
we
is
gotta see
this.
Like, you can't say that until after the season.
That is a completely, you know what? And I can't respond because I'm not emotional enough to respond to an emotional take. And I understand why you feel that way. I completely understand. But if we're really being honest right now, like, people are doing the most they can to think of the negatives that he's going to bring here without like completely disregarding the positive that he's going to bring. And I think just the floor spacing alone makes this trade worth it for Jalen Brunson's sake. Jalen Brunson.
We forget we got Jalen Brunson in there.
Yeah, and that's another reason why I'm not sure we'll have Mitch going forward, because how many minutes can you play Jalen and Mitch next to each other? You can't play them that many minutes next to each other, because at the end of the day, the guy that's guarding Mitch knows that Mitch ain't going to shoot shit. So why the hell would I leave the paint? I can roam right. I can stand right next to the box.
Josh,
You know what I'm saying?
block him. He said, if Cat won a chip, I'd be down for this trade, but Cat ain't win shit. So now the barometer is who won what before trade. So now you had to win. If you're gonna come to the Knicks, you had to at least win a chip first. Right?
Yeah.
Julius Randle never won a chip before he got here. Stat never won a chip before he got here. Who else?
Right.
Who's winning chips?
Right. and that's the other thing. Everybody's upset about the trade, and I know guys, you know, they shouldn't have made this trade. It should have been a terrible
We need
trade.
Debo 3-point shoot. Was he here this whole podcast? Where he come from? We just talked about it's just an even trade off with
No, he wasn't here. He wasn't here.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's a trade off because McCall could shoot.
Right, and that's another thing that I'm saying. Like if Dante DiVincenzo wanted to have a different role, and he was upset about his role here, and that had anything to do with them including him in the trade, what can we say about that? Like, what are we supposed to do about that?
I like my man Nice. Who's Nice? He said this: if other teams' fan base is giving this an A+ and we don't see it, it's due to being attached to players and we don't see it from a distance. You don't understand what does this mean, Cat with JB. And that's what I'm saying, the danger with them two on the floor. And then the wings in between. OG and the newbie and McCall. Josh Hart with the part. Josh with the heart for the part. I just think that this is a dog team. I think the games have to be played. I just think that I do think that the teams in the East are very nervous. Whether you think Cat is a cat or he's zesty or whatever it is, all the mistakes he makes, I think he's got a lot of room when you have somebody like JB.
So
Dante got 2 chips in Milwaukee. Because listen, they won because they had Dante.
Hold on. Number one.
Yo, cut him off, bro.
Let me just. No, I'm not gonna cut him off.
Why is he so angry?
I'm not gonna cut him off. It's an emotional response, and he just needs.
I know.
To be
I just say that because they used to say that with Star and what's his name?
Star and Buckwild. Yeah, cut him off. Cut his mic.
Yeah, cut his mic off.
So, Star and Buckwild. Shout out to them there. That was a time. But Dante got 1 chip. He didn't win the chip with the Warriors. He was only there last year, and they didn't win last year. The Milwaukee Bucks. He got the chip, but he was hurt during the finals run, so he wasn't even on the team when they won. Not to say that he had nothing to do with it, but there's a lot of guys in the league who have championship by being on the team. You know what I'm saying? So he only has 1 chip, and that 1 chip he wasn't on the floor for it. So I mean, I'm not taking anything away from him, but we can't add those things to his accolade and then make that part of the argument. Like that's not
Sean Cole that Dante was hurt when the Bucks won.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like, come on. We're not let's not do this, guys. Listen, I understand, yo. I completely understand why you guys are upset. Trust me. Nah, I'm with you.
Let's not do this, guys.
Listen, I'm not disagreeing with the. I had some trepidation when this trade went through as well.
I felt the same way initially. I was like, "Oh, why they do that?"
Yeah, because and it wasn't about Julius. For me, it was Dante, and I tell you why.
Yes,
he was the best shooter on the Knicks.
I love Dante. I fucking love Dante.
He was a dog on offense. He was a dog on defense, and he just brought it every night. Why would I not miss that? Of course I'm going to miss that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if he's going to be upset about a role change, he's going to play less minutes. What are you going to do? Shut up and play? Like, yo, shut up and play. Like, we want you here. Like, shut up. Just deal with it. No, like, yo, like, if you have an opportunity to go somewhere else and further your career in the way that you want it, then I'm going to give you that opportunity. Who am I to say selfishly, I'm going to keep you here to play you in a role I want you in? That's not what the league is about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand why we didn't want to lose him. And trust me, like I said, I'm big. Dante was my favorite Knick. You heard me say it last year, all year, all over the podcast. My favorite Knick is, of course, Jalen. Duh. That's like saying, oh, Michael Jordan's my favorite player. Like, everybody can say that. But Dante was my favorite Knick by far, bro. Like, he did everything that I would want a role player to do on this squad, without a doubt. But just like Emmanuel Quickly, there are pieces that are needed to make trades happen. That's just it. If it was straight up for Julius and Cat, we wouldn't have any of these people talking about how the trade is. You know what I'm saying? So let's just be real. The trade happened because there's things that just lined up the way they did when they did, and you just gotta make it. You just gotta make those things happen. So I mean, am I happy that we got rid of Dante? No, but I'm not mad that we got Cat because I'm gonna be honest, it was clunky with Julius here, and with the pieces that we added, I don't think we added much floor spacing before this trade. You know what I'm saying? So I understand you not wanting to lose Dante, but if we're talking about what you say, he said, I'm sorry, we have Dante under contract. I was not trading him and Randall for Cat. Nas Reed was a better fit. Yeah, but let's be real. Like, and this is the other part about Knicks fans when we have trades. I wanted this guy instead. It's like they weren't offering him. Like what? They were not offering him. They didn't offer him because they wanted Nas Reed there. Nas Reed was the cheaper, right? Well, not even that. Nas Reed for the Timberwolves was the cheaper option to keep at 4. He was number 1, promising young big, and how much are you paying Cat versus him? You know what I'm saying? And then even when he got sat last year, Cat, who did you have in there? You had Nas Reed. So why would you trade Nas Reed to us? You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's a lot of ways we could talk about the way the trade and the way things went.
They needed to get rid of him. They didn't like the way it worked with him and the Frenchman.
Well, yeah, with him too, and also people were just as pissed when we traded for Mikal Bridges. So a lot of this I take with a grain of salt. I'm not gonna sit here and get upset about people's takes because it's emotional. Like when you see these guys on the floor balling, I'm not gonna hear all this.
That's what I'm saying. That the games need to be played, and I want to hear all these angry Knicks fans when we do get like 50 games or whatever it is, and we get to the playoffs, because it's not going to matter.
I said this as well. I said that as well. By the way,
if we get, because 5th or if we end up 4th, 5th, whatever the case, and we get in the playoffs, it's a whole other game.
Right. Chris Hernandez says we traded Cat for Dante. Randall was hurt, and Cat is better than Dante, and Randall come back from injury. You never know how he's coming back. That's facts. You don't know how he was going to fit.
But it doesn't really matter.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if he goes to the Eastern Conference Finals or they get to the final. Yo, hot take. I was thinking about this. We might see them in the playoffs. That would be a great story.
Well, you mean in the finals?
That's possible. That would be dope. I would like to see that.
My only rebuttal for this, Sharon, is the only reason why this happened was because of fouls. It wasn't because Nas is a better player than Cat. It wasn't about play. It was about the simple fact that Cat could not stay out of foul trouble. You know what I'm saying? So,
yo, let me ask you something. What's Karl Anthony Towns' ranking in the NBA? Matter of fact, in centers, how does he rank?
That's a good. I mean, in terms of centers,
good question.
Yeah, got to be in the top 5. There's not.
I
can't even name
top
5
ranking centers.
Jelani says, all jokes aside, we get floor spacing now, and JB can work out more easily now. We lose physical presence on both sides of the floor for sure. But if we stick to physical Knicks team basketball, we'll be all right. I agree with that. Bro, there's no guarantee we would get a player like Cat. Minnesota was forced to make a move. It was us thanks to Leon Rose keeping them in mind with the new league contract. Yeah. I mean, it's like I said, man, there's so many ways that we can view it on both sides. I really appreciate y'all giving us y'all point of view, because it's not it's not just a seamless fit. You know what I'm saying? It's not just, we got Cat, we're gonna win now. So you have to have some trepidation with it. It's gonna be a little bit of a like, I don't know about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. I definitely understand that. But I do think that with what we have, you still got Josh Hart. You still got, like, these guys here are still dogs. You still got some dogs. You still got Julius. I mean, you still got Jalen Brunson. You still got Josh Hart. You still got Deuce McBride. You're just adding Mikal Bridges, Cat, OG Anunoby to this mix. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. Like, this is a team that people are scared to play. He said Josh Hart can't shoot for shit. I mean, not every. You're right.
We knew that. We already talked about that.
Yeah, I mean, What does that mean?
What does that mean? We still almost made it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
We did lose,
and he helped us in a lot of those big games. They don't have Karl Anthony Towns as a center. They got him as the top 5 power forward in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Like I said, he's not a center. We lost shooting with Dante, but we got shooting back with Cat. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Man. There's so many ways we can look at it. We can look at it negatively, and we can look at it positively, and we could both be wrong when the game started being played. You know what I'm saying?
Really quick. If the way they have it, they have Karl Anthony Towns as the number 5 power forward in the league. Guess where they got Julius Randle?
Where? 4?
11.
Oh, wow.
They got Kristaps above him. Evan Mobley, they got above him. I'm not sure. Laurie Markkinen, he did his thing last.
But they don't have him ranked as a center.
They don't have what?
They don't have him ranked as a center though.
That's what I'm saying. But they got him ranked as a power forward. But even with this, they got him ranked Paolo Banchero, Jaren Jackson, and then Karl Anthony Towns at 5. Zion Williamson, I don't know about that. I mean, the dude's never Pascal Siakam, he's been doing his thing. Anthony Davis, of course. And Giannis, they got him as a power forward as number 1. So even if you look at that, we talk about we take a step back.
Celtics podcast is laughing at us for doing this trade. I mean, the Celtics were getting laughed at when they made a trade. When they made a trade, including KP, and they still ended up winning. You know what I'm saying? Like
laughing at us.
Why would they laugh?
First of all, how you know that? Who you on the phone with?
That's another thing. He said the Celtics podcast was laughing at us.
Oh, all right, cool. Let them laugh.
But even still, why would they laugh? Why would they even care? Like, I feel like any move any team makes right now, the Celtics wouldn't be bothered by it because they're champs.
I'm like, why wouldn't they laugh?
And you are correct.
They're gonna laugh at anything we do.
See, so look. Keyshawn said it. Same one's hating because remember when they said he was overpaid when Jalen Brunson got here for $100 million, and he got here and he's underpaid. That's what I'm saying. The games need to be played first. We all speculating. Everybody's speculating up to this point. I just don't think we got worse. I happen to not think we got worse. Even if it was a trade for a trade, even if it was a power forward for a power forward, there is a lot of hate out there. It's kind of wild because now motherfuckers don't know how to do their job. These motherfuckers is laughing at us. We're gonna be 10 games worse. You know what I mean? It's like, oh wait, hold up, you ain't a Knicks fan. God, take that goddamn. You know what I mean? You're a Celtic. You know what I mean? It's kind of like we got it. The games got to be played. We got to see how it goes. I love Dante. I love the whole Nova Knicks. I was excited about that. I really wanted that. When I first saw the trade, I was like, what? You know what I'm saying? Then you start thinking about it. All right, they're gonna run him as a center, power forward. This dude could score 23 points per game under Tibbs. 12 rebounds under Tibbs. You don't understand what I'm saying? Like, I just think the game's got to be played. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. I think there's going to be some kinks that need to be worked out. There's going to be some chemistry that they got to build. It's not going to be seamless all the time. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be things that are not going to be pretty. But at the end of the day, this is just the beginning. Like, when we first got Julius, it wasn't pretty neither. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like we were talking shit about Julius all year long. His first year, we were trashing spin move. What we call him? The Tasmanian.
Spin move. The dude was spin moves left and right.
Yeah, like we was going crazy at Julius.
I went to a game and I said, I smell a spin move coming. He did a spin move.
He did the spin move. I remember he said
word
because he heard you.
You know what I mean? And then as far as I'm saying, why Celtics fans right and why Celtics fans laughing. We fans of the Knicks, and we're gonna be laughing at Karl Anthony Towns. There's gonna be a lot of reasons to laugh at. It ain't gonna mean that we ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? If Dwight Howard come, we really gonna be laughing. We're gonna have a good time with these. This is gonna be zesty heaven in the New York locker room.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. The last time Dwight was on a franchise, didn't he win a championship?
We ain't sleeping on the Cavs. Them dudes did nothing in the playoffs.
No. Not the Cavs.
That's what he said.
Oh, y'all sleeping on the Cavs.
He talking about everybody but the Knicks.
Why are you talking about the Cavs?
I don't know. And that's not the first time that shit came up. Celtics fans, Cavs fans, the whole league laughing at us.
Maybe we put Knicks in
this might be a lot of it. Some Knicks fans didn't grow up with love in their home.
I don't know what's going on with son. Somebody broke his heart.
Oh, listen, man. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Anto.
I don't know. I'm happy. I'm happy with the trade because it to me it's signals a shift in the franchise and what they want and where they're going.
And the chips they got, the power they
Yeah,
have,
the power they have, the pieces that they had, they saved those pieces to make moves like this. Like, what did y'all want us to do? Y'all want us to trade for players who teams aren't trying to trade. You want us to trade for guys that aren't out there to be not available. Like anything we do is going to be negative. When we got Mikal Bridges, y'all were pissed off that there were so many picks added in there. Like y'all wanted to sit here and draft for 6 years. What are y'all talking about? What are we talking about? We trading picks and y'all pissed. We trying to win a championship.
That's what you stash picks for.
Picks?
You stash picks to use them. I think this is the first time not the first time, but this is like the first time we got a first. And not to mention, RJ Barrett was the number 3 pick. Did he work out?
Right, and that's what I'm saying, man. Like, y'all can point to how many picks was traded. Y'all can point to how good Dante was. But if we get better after they leave, I don't want to hear about it.
I want to hear nothing.
The same way no one's
Brooklyn Knicks fan back in the podcast. I want to see a mid-game, mid-season like this. What was you saying about Colin?
I'm sure he'll be here.
I want to see it.
Wait,
make sure you got that bell notification so you know when we getting on.
Hold on, Brooklyn. There's no way you're mad about this right now.
So what, dude? What are you talking about?
Hold on. Look. There's no way you're mad about this right now.
So what? I was excited because Morris was, y'all know, when he came and he bumped homeboy on the head with the ball, that was my favorite. He was my favorite Knick ever after that. I love that. That whole enforcer, stop fucking playing with me type of thing. I love that. But yo, he had to get waived. It's all right. We'll be all right.
I don't know, Brent. It's I don't know. Oh, who the finesse say? Well, don't he's talking to you, Dre. Don't rip RJ. We ain't win the OG trade. I don't know how anyone can say we didn't win the OG trade. I'm sorry.
What you talking about?
I don't know. Yo, what was that record when OG?
I don't recognize a lot of y'all from the joints we did before. I was never a big. I'm gonna be honest. I never really believed in RJ Barrett.
He was never.
These dudes to tell you. I didn't think RJ Barrett was nice. I thought he had concrete feet. Thought he was a little too slow. He disappeared a bunch of games. You can argue if you want. But yeah, Brooklyn Knicks. Me and Brooklyn Knicks fan, I agree on something. He said my man cooked because of this trade. But I was never a big RJ Barrett fan. So it worked out perfectly. And if you think that was a bad move, let's see what the Raptors do. A full season with him.
Peace, Trav. Peace.
Trav, you missed a lot, man. You missed a lot. These dudes talking crazy.
Man, they talking crazy.
And OG, the only thing against OG is the games he missed. That's it. And just like any NBA team.
All right, yo, hold on. All right.
You got it because you
RJ better than OG. He said.
You keep giving it time.
I'm giving it too much. I'm giving it.
Yeah. Come on, let's move on. I told you to cut his mic off. What I told you.
No. It's not even him. It's just now I'm starting to hear takes that like, all right, like what are we talking about right now? Like
Mitchell Robinson for Herb Jones.
No, the RJ is better than OG thing. It's like
yeah. Come on.
Because like, and this is the thing about the league. Like, this is why people get upset about picks because to them they view certain things as greater than other things. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how long I've been watching basketball, but I hear defense wins championships more than I hear offense wins championships. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So when you talk about a player and you're comparing RJ and OG, and you look at where we were when we had RJ, and ask Andre, who was RJ's biggest fan on this podcast?
Capital.
Me.
Apollo,
Without a doubt. I didn't want RJ gone. State.
I was gonna say State. Yeah, I was like State. State said he was gonna be an all-star by this year.
State definitely said he was gonna be a Hall of Famer, and
he said he was gonna be a Hall of Famer. I said you State bugging.
Listen, State's my guy. I'm a big RJ fan, but I'm gonna have to bring that clip out for State. Like, yo, bro, you was a little wrong on this one.
Yo, both of y'all was bugging. I've been trying to tell you.
Hey, yo, chill out. All right, come on. Anyway, so like I was saying, man, like. See, just start go crazy.
Yo, it's 11 o'clock. It's past my bedtime.
Yeah, man. We talking too much, man. But the only point I was gonna make is that there are always going to be players who we like more than other guys. But what do they do for winning? Jonathan Macri of Knicks Film School will go to the grave saying that RJ Barrett did not help us win. And
At
if we're
all.
being honest,
He's
he
true.
didn't.
Yeah,
If we're being honest, we didn't. And I loved RJ. But
And I never loved RJ.
and anyway, there's what OG brings to the team is winning. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, you can give the ball to
OG
RJ.
got to check if that's the barometer. If that's what we're using.
Well, hey, let's. OG also wasn't there when they won, so
he didn't. He wasn't there.
he was hurt. He was hurt that year. So you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. There's so many caveats to any point that any one of us can make that it doesn't make anything we say 100% true. So that also applies to the trade. There's so many things we can say about this trade. There's so many things we can disagree with. But if we're honest about the structure of this team, they're not built to lose. This team is built to win. We still got Jalen Brunson. We still got Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges has been in the finals as well. There's just so much experience this team has. And I also don't think they're done. They're talking about Mitch. Mitch posting pictures. He was posting throwback pictures of him and Julius, throwback pictures of himself, which to me was kind of like, all right, you're just dumping a whole lot of photos because you know, like, all right, your time in New York is over, kind of thing. Like, that's what it felt like to me. So I don't know, man. Like, I don't really. I don't want to lose Mitch, but I also know that just the same way we had to lose Dante to get something that we needed or wanted, I guess, if we're talking about Leon Rose, it'll have to be, the same kind of thing with Mitch. It's hard for them to trade Mitch right now because he's constantly injured. It's also hard for them to trust Mitch to be on this team because he's
got to get these dudes off the comments because he talking. We should have just traded Mitchell Robinson. Like, somebody who in their right mind is going to trade Karl Anthony Towns straight up for Mitchell Robinson.
So look, another thing, the trade that was on the table for most of the time was Mitchell Robinson.
And they ain't want him.
No, Mitchell Robinson and Julius Randle, and that was why the talks kept souring. They didn't want Mitch. Like, why would you trade for Mitchell Robinson and Julius Randle and give up Cat when you already have
Gobert?
Rudy Gobert there, and then you're gonna bring in Mitch to play him behind him. And then you're gonna
they playing next to each other.
And there's no floor space. And Julius Randle can shoot the three, but is he a high percentage 3-point shooter? No, he's not. So I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I just don't. I don't want to. I don't want to. Go ahead.
I think the whole point is nobody really knows. Like, we're making the best decisions that we possibly can to build the best team. Injuries screw everything up, but like. We got to see them play first.
Right.
That's what I said. We got to see the games. They got to play the games.
Perfectly said. I'll say RJ passes OG this season and IQ will equal OG. That said, the fit might not have been it for them since IQ wanted to start and RJ and Randall couldn't coexist, especially with Mitch. Perfectly said. Perfectly said. So that's why moves are made. It's about fit. That's the only reason why moves are made. The reason why they made this move was for fit. It wasn't about just Julius Randle. I'm sure they would love to have Julius Randle and Karl Anthony Towns on his team. Why wouldn't you want to have both guys on the team? But if we're talking about fit, they had to find a way to make it easier for Jalen Brunson to get his buckets. They had to find someone else who is a big man that can spread the floor because that just makes it so much easier for Jalen Brunson to get his buckets. Like, this is all tying back to Jalen Brunson. Making the Mikal trade was for Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
Making the OG trade was for Jalen Brunson. Like, if we can just, like, I know we're not going to be enamored with all of the moves that we made, but let's be honest, y'all. Like, we have to build this team around Jalen Brunson as best we could. And that's where we are. And I don't want to go too much into, we could sit here all night and talk about a whole lot of stuff. 2 hours and 16 minutes. I did not plan on being here this long. Be honest with y'all. I love y'all. It's been a minute, but I didn't expect that. But I love it, man. And this is why.
Just keep this energy all season. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. I can't wait. This is why I can't wait for the season to start. I can't wait till the training camp begins. I want to see these guys get some run-ins together, and let's see how they can take over this year. Y'all got any last words? Y'all want any parting words for the people?
Hey, don't be so angry, Knicks fan. If you were a real Knicks fan, don't be so mad at the Knicks. I think you just gotta let's see how. Don't go to work tomorrow talk about how you hate the Knicks, but you're a Knicks fan. Don't go in there with a Knicks hat. Talk about how Leon Rose need to lose his job and all this other stuff. Like, just keep it cool, man. Let's just wait a couple weeks to see how it goes. I think it's exciting. I won't be able to do a whole lot of podcasts with y'all if it's during the weekends. Tear shit up with y'all. We gonna be talking.
Let's do the
Don't
weekend.
let the Knicks have a winner. Don't let us be in the top 3 a quarter away, midway through the season. I'm be talking super shit. Yup. We heading straight for the chip in the East. Yo,
See, guys, salute.
I can't wait till Monday because that's when they really get with the. Did Stephen A. Smith say anything yet?
I think if he didn't, you know what? I don't think so because it came out on Friday, and I think
That's what
tomorrow.
I'm saying. I think Monday start. I want to see what these dudes are saying. I want to have a little fun with that. Everybody talking about the Cavs. You talking about the Celtics. Who's laughing? I can't wait to see. I want to see what these analysts are saying. Chris Broussard said something. He was like, "I like it for the." He said, "I like it for the Knicks." He said, "I like it for both teams." I'm excited. Initially, I was disappointed. I saw
Chris Broussard said something positive about the Knicks.
Who?
Chris Broussard. He said something positive.
Yeah, he said, "I like it for the Knicks."
Okay.
He was like, "Whoa, like this is a big trade." So it's a big deal. I don't know how we all upset.
Shout out to Chris Broussard. Remember we met him at the Garden, man?
Yeah.
He was cool.
Yeah.
He was
I was
cool.
telling my brother he want to be a journalist. He was like, "Good luck with that, my man." Remember he said that?
The funniest thing is Dre caught me off guard. This is what Dre used to do all the time. Sidebar. Dre used to always get me into situations and then just be like, "Yo, yeah, you got that." So what he would do is he would say something that I didn't know he was going to say before conversation started with whoever the hell we talking about. He does that a lot. He used to do it a lot.
I'm like, "Yo, Chris, he's taking journalism in school." He was like, "Oh yeah, really? What
exactly what he said.
Joshua was like,
what if the man asked me what school I was going to? I was gonna have to lie. Like, why would you do that to me?
Yo, I'm going to St. John's. What you talking about? He like, "I got people over there. I get you in there."
I'd have been completely lost.
He was nice enough to stop and talk to us, though.
He did. He stopped until he took pictures with us. He was cool as hell.
I still got that on my phone. Matter of fact,
me too. Shout out to Chris Broussard. And then look at it. Look what we ended up doing years later. We ended up in front of the camera talking about Knicks. So you know what I mean. Shout out to him.
See, Joey's my type of guy. 82-0. Let's go, baby.
82-0.
Let's go. I keep saying, let's go.
Ego, that's my favorite fan for the night so far. You know what I'm saying? My favorite one. 82-0. That's the only energy we need, man. Let's be honest. I do think there's more moves to come, and hopefully, these moves get done before it's too late. You know what I'm saying? Before guys get into the plan and all that. But Cuzzo, you got anything you want to add to get us up out of here?
Hey man, listen, it is perfectly fine for you to fall in love with these players who pour their heart out on the court, but everybody can't stay, and we got to build the best team possible. So let's see what happens, and then you can critique once we start watching the games, not after a move is made, because it may not even stay. You know what I mean?
Your man said, because of this trade, Marcus Morris ain't here no more.
He said, "God damn it!
There goes our chance for a chip now, man.
God damn it!
Man got Marcus Morris. Now what we gonna do?"
Yeah, we mess with you. Shout out, man. It's all jokes. Still Knicks fans got me.
Yo, who's Herb Jones, man?
He got me in with like Debo. He said, "Don't forget Apollo. I need that drop coming through like Debo." Shout out to you, bro. It's funny. As soon as I set up tonight for the show, I said, "Oh damn, I never sent that shit to Ron." Yo, Ron, shout out to you, bro. I'm the worst. I told you I'm the worst. But, you know what I'm saying? My heart is always in the right spot, my guy. I got you tonight. Tonight I will be recording it. I got you. I promise you.
Yeah, you're in the studio now anyway. Just record that drop for him. Stop playing.
Right, I'm in the studio right now.
Too. Ron, he always do shit like that.
You done?
The niggas stay doing it. Yo, Cat, let me get.
Oh my god, bro! I can't mess with this guy, bro. Anyway,
god damn.
Herb Jones is the wing, one of the wings from the Pelicans, and everybody's they want.
He nice?
Yeah, he's good. He's actually pretty good. Yo. I got about 30 versus Apollo. Only you not alone. Wow, y'all are going crazy tonight.
Yo, I said Jelani. I'm trying to tell him.
Let's stop the show now because y'all going crazy. All right, I'm gonna let y'all. Thank y'all for coming through. Appreciate y'all. Love all of y'all.
When I want to end the show, I'm gonna just start going that cap like this. Yo, this nigga
he never record that verse. Yo, bro, I need you to record Substitute for me too. You ain't send that to me. Like,
What you talking about?
Yo,
What you talking about? You said you wrote your verse. You said you had the chorus.
I told you to send me your verse.
I ain't know that you ain't say that. You never said that, Cap.
Why I gotta ask you to send me a verse?
Because you said you was gonna write yours. Like, if you want to hear mine, my verse is second on the joint.
I didn't know.
I want to hear your verse first, and I want to hear the chorus.
All right, y'all.
You talking shit? Why we gotta do this on the air?
Yo, anyway, while we on the air talking about stuff that we don't need to, shout out to Andre Jalil, the dopest producer / artist in the world. You know what I'm saying? Go to all the platforms, Andre Jalil. You can also look for Apollo Reed, myself, on all platforms. You know what I'm saying? Go listen to some dope music. You got some
Cap's latest track is my production. Don't forget that. I don't want y'all.
That's right. I mean? That's right. And also Jelani got some shit he sent me earlier. Like y'all got.
Oh, so Jelani, you sending him shit?
Y'all got me doing all. Y'all got me doing
Jelani, you sending him shit? You ain't sending me nothing.
Y'all got me doing all kinds of songs. I ain't get paid once. Y'all send me all kinds of verses, and I need this and that. I don't. Dre, what's good? It's all good. Say no more. All right, yo.
He said y'all both need a timeout.
Here we go.
Love y'all, man.
Go. Apollo owes me 6 invites.
6 invites.
All right, y'all. Love y'all.
All right, y'all.
Y'all have a good one. Appreciate y'all.
I love you, boy. Cap, I love you, man.
I'll see you I'll see you next week. Next week we'll have another show, y'all. Next weekend, we'll try to do it as much as possible, and hopefully we'll have some footage to talk to y'all, and we'll see these guys on the court together, and then we'll talk about that, yeah. All right. Until next time, love all y'all. Y'all have a good one. Until next time, peace.